League of American Football touches down in London after an absence of 3 years. And it's to a new stadium, White Hart Lane, normally the home of Tottenham Hotspur, but this afternoon the London Monarchs are back in town. And they face quite a challenge against the World League's only unbeaten team, the Amsterdam Admirals. Nick Horlick, and joining me as usual, Mike Carlson. Mike, this one is not going to be easy for the Monarchs.
And a whole new definition of a flag on the play. Watching that parachutist come down, Nick. And the game's not going to be easy. The Admirals have won 2 games the hard way. Both times a tough team to beat. Al Luginbill, their coach, very successful U.S. college coach at San Diego State. Nobody wants the Admirals to go 3-0 and get a real jump on the rest of the league, because remember, in that first half of the season, the team that leads is going to host the World Bowl.
And if Amsterdam do go 3-0 here, it's going to be tough for Bobby Hammond and all the other head coaches to try and pull that one back. Here's the coin toss. The weather, well, it's a little bit overcast, a little bit windy, but we saw the punters and kickers warming up in practice, and the wind didn't seem to be bothering them too much.
We've been getting a lot of autumnal weather here in the springtime for the World League, and it's good football weather.
So the boys are back in town. The London Monarchs, after that 3-year gap, are ready to rumble against the Amsterdam Admirals, and it looks like the Admirals will receive. And so the Amsterdam Admirals get the ball first. As we take a look at that series note, the omen's good for the Monarchs, but Amsterdam, they tend to go ahead and hang on to that lead.
That's what's happened in both their first games. Both teams that they beat felt that they could have beaten the Admirals, and the Admirals felt they could have blown out both of those teams. So you can see how balanced that is. Maurice Spencer there, defensive backfield and special teams coach for the Monarchs. He's the guy responsible for this kickoff.
Don Silvestri, the kicker, will get us underway. Back deep, 2 men for the Admirals. Number 22, Ralph Dawkins. Number 26, T.C. Wright. Dawkins, a real danger man. We'll be hearing a lot of him this afternoon. T.C. Wright, his backup. So Silvestri waits to get us underway. American football is back in London. Low kick from Silvestri, fielded at the 8 by T.C. Wright, who looks for a bit of running room and gets to about the 35-yard line. Tony Brooks eventually tripping him up, but a pretty good return from T.C. Wright. Eric Stevens in on the tackle as well. Jamie Martin leads the Amsterdam Admirals, and he is from the Los Angeles Rams, an NFL allocation player on the Rams practice squad in '93, through over 12,000 yards in college, and he's taken just about every snap for the Admirals. Most teams are rotating their quarterbacks, but Martin is getting the call in Amsterdam. First down, Admirals. And straight away, going into motion, the handoff is to number 22, Ralph Dawkins, who pushes his way for 5 or 6 yards. Gabriel Oladipo on the stop.
Dawkins, a nice little darting runner, gets low, runs behind the blockers, looks for his holes. Hard to tackle for those big defensive linemen.
Ralph Dawkins will get a lot of playing time. David Jones is a danger man at the H-back position. Sanjay Beach and Ernie Jones out wide, both are proven NFL veterans. Trumaine Bell, the tight end. Second down, the handoff once again to Dawkins, who is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Gabriel Oladipo again in on the tackle. Kevin Porter came up from free safety as well.
Good sign when the big guys in the center of your defensive line are stacking things up at the line of scrimmage.
The offensive line, Rob Baxley, the key man there at left tackle. He really is solid. Pale, Bock, Quarter and Sean Harper. That's a very tight, well-organized, well-disciplined unit.
The 3 guys in the middle, all young players who were free agents in NFL camps last year, looking for NFL jobs this year.
And it looks like a penalty has been assessed against the London Monarchs.
Too many men on the field, on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that one of those calls that coaches hate.
It really hurts them in that situation too, because they've done a good job of stopping the run, brought up a difficult 3rd down situation. Now it's a 1st and 10.
So the Admirals looking to do what they've done in previous games. David Jones, the H-back, number 80, in motion. Dawkins gets the carry once again and plows his way up the middle. Gabriel Oladipo in once again on the stop. Billy Lofton in there as well, the other defensive tackle. On the outside of that defensive line, A.J. Jenkins and Herman Smith. Jenkins was cut by the Amsterdam Admirals in training camp. He is a man with 1 or 2 points to prove this afternoon.
And we'll be seeing some of the newest London Monarch, Horace Morris, who is a good defensive end.
2nd down and 8 after the pickup of 2 from Dawkins. Motion once again from David Jones, and they go wide. They were looking for Ernie Jones, but the ball from Martin slightly underthrown. The linebackers, Rick Newbill and Nick Smith. Nick Smith holding his place on the outside. Newbill had a big game last week. Dave Hoffman, the middle linebacker, but Newbill outstanding in the win against the Rhein Fire last week.
Played really well, and Nick Smith, yet another linebacker from Notre Dame. We've been seeing a lot of Notre Dame linebackers in the past few weeks.
And the Admirals have a couple as well who we'll be meeting later. 3rd down and 8. Big play coming up early here for the Admirals. And Martin goes nowhere. He's stuck. Jenkins came up and applied the pressure, and he got an assist from Hoffman as well.
The Monarchs brought their linebackers to put pressure on Jamie Martin. They had the receivers covered short because they know he likes to look short, and in that situation he would have to look short. Now
here is Darren Bennett, an NFL allocation player, out to punt. And he's an Australian, played Aussie rules football for 12 years. He's 6'5", one of the few punters who would probably fancy himself tackling in open field.
And he's got a strong leg.
High snap. Kenny McIntyre back deep, but Bennett booms it. And McIntyre calls for a fair catch and doesn't make it, but manages to recover. And no flags. McIntyre was bundled over, but no flags as yet. But they're a feisty, scrappy bunch, these Admirals, and I think they're looking to stamp their mark here early.
And you're not supposed to tackle the player or hit the player when he calls for the fair catch. Of course, he did drop it, but he then stopped his running. You can't advance the ball once you've fair caught it. It's like taking the mark in rugby.
So Kenny McIntyre not impressed by that. And what a punt from Darren Bennett. We've seen punters and kickers in this league struggle, but Bennett really winged that one.
And not only the strength in the leg, but also the control to keep it from going into the end zone.
So Brad Johnson gets his first outing of the afternoon. The man from the Minnesota Vikings has made a very solid start to his World League career. Completed 28 of 49 passes in 2 games so far, and a real team leader. 1st down and deep. They're at about their own 8-yard line. And the give straight away is to Victor Ebubedike, who pushes his way for maybe a couple. And it looks like the Amsterdam Admirals have got it.
And Victor's fumble, and it's recovered by Amsterdam. It's going to give them 1st down inside the 10-yard line. With your back to the wall, you don't want to be giving up the ball.
So a disaster early for the London Monarchs. Victor Ebubedike picking up 3 or 4 yards and fumbling. And that gives the Admirals outstanding field position. Mike, we were talking about how tough this Amsterdam defensive unit was. We just saw how tough there. 7 yards out for Jamie Martin and the Admirals. Dawkins gets the carry, and Dawkins picks up about 4 yards. Carlton Lance, number 20, came in and helped on the stop.
Good time to talk about that short end zone as well, as Dawkins does a nice job on it with his 2nd effort. It's only 7 yards deep here at White Hart Lane. It's not a full 10-yard end zone. That's going to restrict the routes that the receivers can run, make it a little bit harder for the offense to get the ball into that end zone.
2nd down and goal for the Admirals. Dawkins gets the call once again, is met 2 yards short. Edward Buck, number 27, came up with a big play there for the Monarchs.
And I think you'll find Nick Smith down the bottom too on the first hit there. Good pursuit by the Monarchs.
3rd and goal on the 1.
And just stuffed by Edward Buck. But still plenty of work to do for the Monarchs defensive unit. 3rd down and goal for the Admirals. Dawkins gets the carry once again and goes straight through the middle. And the Amsterdam Admirals break out on top inside the first 4 minutes.
Worst possible start the London Monarchs could imagine. They did a good job of holding Amsterdam. The punt put them back with their own backs to the wall, and then Amsterdam able to punch it in from the 7 in 3 plays.
Simple but effective. That is what the Amsterdam Admirals do.
Amsterdam with the best kicking game. Terry Belden here, the place kicker, is having a good year.
No problems with that extra point. It swirls straight through. So early in the first quarter, the Amsterdam Admirals do what they've done in the previous 2 games. 3 plays, 7 yards that drive. But what they've done is they've got ahead, and this team, when they get ahead, they tend to stay ahead.
And Al Luginbill was saying before the game, even though they've won both games, he had 8 opportunities inside the 20 when they hadn't scored in those first 2 games. This time they got the opportunity inside the 20, and they punched it in. Let's look at the touchdown. See how low the offensive guard gets, and Dawkins goes right over his back. He goes low, takes his man down, and all Dawkins has to do is skip in. Watch, just to the quarterback's right. They go down, and Dawkins goes right over him.
So it's 7-0 in favor of the Amsterdam Admirals here at White Hart Lane, first quarter. And Al Luginbill's team of scrappers and battlers have got their noses in front early here. Terry Belden will kick off. Kenny McIntyre and Stephen Hutchinson, the former London Olympian, back deep for the London Monarchs. So Belden gets us underway. The Monarchs, 1 play offensively, and it was a fumble. High end over end kick will be fielded by Kenny McIntyre, who looks for some running room and eventually runs into a wall, but not before he reaches the 38-yard line. In fact, that was Ronnie West, number 26, coming through there. 3 plays and 7 yards for Ralph Dawkins to cap it with a 1-yard run, but the Admirals getting field position off the fumble.
Now the Monarchs have decent field position for themselves, and the big thing here is you're only down a touchdown. Is just come out, play your normal game, get things moving, establish that offensive line like they did last week.
First down for Brad Johnson and the Monarchs. Deep drop. Got a man, he's got Tony Brooks this time, who is met and picks up maybe a yard before he was nailed. This Amsterdam defense very, very tough.
Big pursuit from the middle linebacker, Carmelia McGee, another one of those linebackers out of Notre Dame University. Closed that one down real quick.
There's Johnson's numbers on the season so far. Second down, Johnson fires, he's got his man. It's Allen who is nailed immediately by Ron Carpenter, the cornerback. That is going to be a key matchup tonight.
Ron Carpenter is one of the outstanding defensive backs in the World League. 4 interceptions already, and London's going without the huddle. They're trying to go quick now, give themselves time to do things on offense and get Amsterdam off balance before they can get extra defensive backs into the game.
Third down, Johnson fires, he's got his man. Larry Wallace picks up a first down, takes it to the Amsterdam 48. Jay Phillips, the free safety, came up and made the stop, but another big play early from Larry Wallace.
Strategy worked really well, and you can't say enough about Larry Wallace, who's probably about 75% with that hamstring injury. Everybody knows it, and he's still catching passes.
Johnson dropping back the pass again, getting flushed out, and gets Tony Brooks, who makes a smart catch and picks up around 17 yards before he's brought down by Ron Carpenter and Robert O'Neill.
And Tony Brooks just gets a step on Cedric Figaro, and that's all he needs for the first down.
There's the catch from Brooks, and Brooks gets away from his man, and he's off to the races for a first down.
See, as soon as he gets that step, Brad Johnson's looking for him all the way, gets the ball to him. They're going to huddle now, get things started again, but this quick offense is working for London.
Gary Howe, it looks like, who may be limping out. There's Tony Brooks. There's the tail of the tape on him. Another Notre Dame veteran. Came out of the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's Malcolm Showell that's limped out, but seems to be okay. Will sit out.
One of the reasons Amsterdam's D-backs can play so close is because they get such a good pass rush from that front 4.
Johnson dropping back, passes. There's a flag comes in. There was definitely a bit of holding there around Ronnie West. Johnson 4 for 4 going into that one. And definitely a penalty coming up, and probably against Amsterdam. Let's wait and hear the call.
holding number 52 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Cedric Figueroa. Now let's join the third member of our commentary team this afternoon, the New York Giants wide receiver Mike Sherrod.
In talking to Brad Johnson this week, he felt it was very important for the Monarchs to establish a short passing attack. Amsterdam has a strong pass rush, and the short passing attack would take advantage of that, and they've done it so far, and they've been real successful.
So some thoughts there from Mike Sherrod, now with the New York Giants. Spent time with San Francisco and Dallas. Johnson hands off to Brooks. Brooks looking to turn the corner and picking up 5 or 6 yards before he's run out of bounds. But the Monarchs mixing it up now with the run and the pass.
Nice blocking by the tight end Mike Titley too. Brooks goes around him and Titley seals the corner off. Gives Brooks the opportunity to make that yardage. There's Mike Titley.
2nd and 4.
And head coach Bobby Hammond wants to establish the running game. What he really wants to have is an offense with a dominant back, and he thinks Brooks can be that guy.
2nd down and 4 for the Monarchs. Once again, the give is to Tony Brooks, who will get close to first down yardage. He was stacked up by Carmelia McGill, number 90.
And the London offensive line performed really well last week. This week, Terrence Wisdom, who's finally off the injured list, is back in the starting lineup, so the line should theoretically even get better. Matchup to watch here is the right tackle, 73, Mike Moody, against 98, the defensive end, Bobby Hamilton. They both play for the Seattle Seahawks. Up there on the top of your screen.
3rd down and 3 for the Monarchs, and movement and flags. We'll have to wait and see whether the Amsterdam Admirals jumped or whether they were pulled. Mike Titley, number 82, the tight end, was certainly involved in something there as well.
I think you'll find it's Mike Moody who went forward, just as we were saying, keep an eye on him.
False start, number 82 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
You got me, dude.
Mike Titley it was. And there it is.
Good job, Nick.
Well, I like to get one every so often, Mike. That was Bobby Hamilton running through after Titley jumped. So that makes it 3rd and long. Around 8 to go now for the Monarchs, looking to respond after falling behind early. Johnson pump fakes, puts it up in the air. He's looking for Larry Wallace. He's got him. Touchdown, London Monarchs.
A great play, great execution by both Johnson and Wallace. And they took advantage of the fact that everybody thinks Wallace isn't going to go deep because of the hamstring injury.
They went after Kelly Sims, the cornerback, in single coverage, and Larry Wallace got him.
If you're going to beat a team, beat them at their strong point right off the bat. They're going after the corners.
So the Monarchs do what they have to do. They come straight back against the Admirals. Don Silvestri will attempt the extra point. And straight down the middle for Silvestri. So we're all square here at White Hart Lane. It's the London Monarchs 7, the Amsterdam Admirals 7, and we'll be back after this.
That a player gets himself in shape, ready to play, weight training and all of the other things that improve a player to get him ready to play the game are certainly at the highest level that they've ever been. But when you go back to basics, and that's the old way of saying it, you have to go back to basics, and that's blocking and that's tackling.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
All right, here's what we've got. We're being bombed.
I've come here to create a new country for you called chaos, and a new government called anarchy.
His name's Ryan Garrity. According to the report, the guy can build bombs out of biscuit.
Blown away. Now playing on DirecTV.
Well, they love it here at White Hart Lane. The London Monarchs have christened their new home with a touchdown. Brad Johnson to Larry Wallace.
He gets good time, and you heard Mike Sherrod say they want to work the short game, and you saw Brad Johnson there with the pump fake. Going short, they bought the fake, and Wallace broke deep. He's open in the end zone. Johnson hits him. A beautiful play, great play calling, a great sequence by London because they came out, marched down the field, they ran it, they passed it, they mixed it up. and it's 7-7.
So Amsterdam give up a touchdown. They haven't given up many this season. Silvestri will find the danger man, Ralph Dawkins, at around his own 12 or 13. And stays on his feet, beats the first man, but doesn't manage to beat the rush. A.J. Jenkins, number 63, came in and made the stop. Jenkins, a man with a mission. There's Jamie Martin from Weber State in Utah, and picked up a whole bunch of collegiate records.
This guy threw 7 touchdown passes in one game against Eastern Washington University.
And finished up with over 12,000 yards in all, but not quite caught the eye yet with the Los Angeles Rams, but they're having a good look at him here, and he's getting plenty of playing time, which is what these young quarterbacks need. First down and a test for the Admirals. David Jones goes in motion, number 80. Martin looks the other way and had a man. It was Ernie Jones. Kenny McIntyre was on the coverage, but Ernie Jones let that one bounce off his hands.
Timing was just a little bit off there. I think Ernie Jones ran a route a couple of yards deeper than Jamie Martin thought he was. So the ball was there as he turned. It caught him by surprise.
There's Dave Hoffman. He's the spiritual leader of that Monarch defensive front seven, the middle linebacker. And a real tiger.
And in effect, the quarterback of that defense calling the sets for them.
Second down, the Monarchs looking to shut down the Admirals. Jones goes in motion. Carlton Lance mirroring his every move. And they're looking to spring Dawkins, who's going nowhere. Kenny McIntyre comes up from left cornerback, and that one's shut down. But Ralph Dawkins is a man you've got to watch.
Shut down by Herman Smith, who got great penetration from the defensive end, forced Dawkins inside. You can see all the things that he does for you. Lots of good things happen if you can get him the ball.
Well, they shut him down there, but there's a long way to go yet. Ralph Dawkins, as you can see, leads the World League in just about every offensive stat. Third down and a bunch. 5 defensive backs in for the London Monarchs. And Jamie Martin checked off and looks to try and get out of bounds, but he's short of first down coverage, first down yardage. The London Monarchs covered his receivers, and Rick Newbill eventually pushed him out of bounds about 3 yards short.
Now Martin's got nobody to throw to there, so he thinks he sees an opening and takes off. Then he sees Newbill coming up. Newbill was back in coverage, and even though Newbill misses the tackle there isn't a lot of room for Jamie Martin to get the first down.
So defensively, the Monarchs hold once again, but out comes Darren Bennett, the Australian. Kenny McIntyre is back at his own 15, but Bennett is smoking these punts here. They came after that one. Bennett gets a nice spiral, and it's going to drop around the 20 and take a nice Amsterdam hop.
And that's another one of those perfectly placed kicks. He was going for corner, and he got it inside the 20, right down to about the 10, nearly out of bounds.
So Darren Bennett pushes the Monarchs deep. They will take over after this.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough. Let's go. Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 World League season. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
These drug cartels represent a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
It is my duty to report this matter to the Senate Oversight Committee.
I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it. How dare you come into this office and bark at me? I am the President of the United States. How dare you, sir?
Harrison Ford. Clear and present danger. Playing this month on DirecTV.
So Jamie Martin and the Amsterdam Admirals offense back on the bench. Meanwhile, Brad Johnson, who's already led one long drive, is going to have to lead another one. And Jamie Martin talking to his offensive coordinator, Bob Beers, head coach Al Luginbill.
Short end zone a factor here as well, because you don't want to have to punt without giving your punter enough room to get the kick off.
So back deep for Brad Johnson. Tony Brooks alone in the backfield. And the give is to Brooks, who picks up 5 or 6 yards, gets a couple of decent blocks, and buys himself a little bit of space. The Admirals' defensive front is tough. Evans and Hamilton will rush the passer. Shoel and Gary Howe, tough as nails up the middle.
Shoel had a big year last year in the Canadian League, playing for Baltimore, the no Colts, or the Uncolts in the CFL.
Gary Howe played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Malcolm Shoel was with the Packers in '93 on their practice squad. Second down, Brad Johnson looks for his receiver. He's got his man, Mike Titley, the tight end. Cedric Figaro, another Notre Dame linebacker, made the stop. That will bring up a 3rd and about 3 for Mike Titley after that reception.
Johnson getting good time to throw. That offensive line is firing out on the runs and protecting him on the passes.
Johnson settling better and better as this season progresses. And the give up the middle. And Tony Brooks tried to make the second effort and was just nailed. The Admirals came in and lowered the boom. Carmelia McGill was in on the thick of it. Total yardage, London totally wiping out Amsterdam in terms of numbers at the moment. But the key numbers, of course, 7. And each team has got 7 points.
Good second effort by Tony Brooks, and good gang tackling by Amsterdam to stop him. Looks like he'll be just short of that line.
That was a real big second effort from Brooks, but also from Amsterdam's defensive front. And this one's going to be close. Ooh, couldn't be much closer, could it? A couple of fingernails and that's it. And the offense wants to go for it, but Bobby Hammond is sending in his punting unit, and Al Luginbill will send in his return man, and T.C. Wright.
If you were going to pick a time to come at a punter strong and go for blocking the kick, this would be it. And remember, Sonny Fechikos hasn't had the best time punting in the first 2 games. He's had his problems, but at least he's got a little room to work with now. He'll be standing about on the 5-yard line. So he's got some room behind him.
And the Admirals may decide this is one they can come after. Fexico takes his time, gets a spiral. Wright will field this at his own 35, misses the first man, Jason Orton, but the second man gets him. Roel Blenman, number 30, the British national, stopped him, and it was finished off by number 24.
Nice job by Blenman, too, to stop him, in a good punt by Sonny Fechiko. It's one of the best he's had in the first 3 games.
Phil Bryant, number 24, will officially be credited with the stop, but Roel Blenman, the former London Olympian, coming in and doing his job there. But Jamie Martin back out in the huddle for the Amsterdam Admirals. 1st and 10 at the Admirals 40. 5:10 remaining, first quarter. The handoff up the middle to Dawkins, who pushes his way for 4 or 5 yards. Dave Hoffman wrapped him up tight.
What's happened here? Jamie Martin sees that London's only got 2 linebackers in and 5 DBs, which means that first play is likely to go on the ground because they've got an even number of blockers on defenders.
Ralph Dawkins this season, 40 rushes at a pretty decent average. He's a dangerous man indeed. 184 yards and a touchdown. And anytime you're averaging around 4.5 yards a carry, you're doing your job.
See London with those 2 linebackers only.
Motion from Sanjay Beach, who gets the call but can't quite pick it up. The throw was low, but Martin was looking for the NFL veteran Sanjay Beach on that play.
And you saw them coming, and they put the pressure on Martin. The pass was a little bit low, else it was there. It was a quick out to try to get the ball away before the rush got to Jamie Martin.
The Sanjay Beach briefly played for the 49ers and the Packers and the Jets. 42 NFL games in all for Sanjay. 3rd down and around 7. Pressure coming from the outside, but he's got his man Ralph Dawkins, who fumbles the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds, and I think he's short of 1st down yardage anyway. Dave Hoffman stayed at home on that one and did a big defensive job.
And Dawkins threw a tremendous move on Dave Hoffman to get open and get the ball in the first place, and then outran him for the sidelines. You see, there's Hoffman on the right of your screen. You saw the move there. A real good cut out, and he gets three yards on Hoffman. Hoffman starts to make up the ground, and what happens is Dawkins is looking so closely at where the first down marker is that he skids just short of it.
So we get to see Darren Bennett once again. Kenny McIntyre back deep. And they went after Bennett on that one. Carlton Lance almost got a piece of that. And once again, it takes another nice Amsterdam hop.
And the pressure didn't bother Bennett at all. He put it right in the corner. And part of that is probably the experience as an Australian rules kicker. It comes naturally to him to put the ball for placement, not just for distance.
4 minutes.
And down on the fields, Al Luganville and Mike Sherrod.
I had a good chance to meet Darren Bennett last summer when the Giants played the San Diego Chargers in an exhibition game. It was Darren's first action playing American football, but he's adjusted well. In fact, he leads the World League in punting with a 42-yard average.
Some thoughts there from Mike Sherrod. Brad Johnson, meanwhile, getting the London offense underway. He's looking for Alan Allen, who comes up with a big play in double coverage. A huge first down. Kelly Sims once again, the man beaten. Alan Allen coming up with a huge play.
And a great catch by Alan Allen. Johnson had the ball there, but it was up for grabs between the three. They're going deep when it's not expected. Good play calling. And watch the control on Alan Allen here. Right on the money. Keeps his concentration. Gets the foot in. Big play.
37 yards from the man from the New York Jets, who's also playing hurt. He's had a wrist problem, but it didn't show on that reception. And that takes it close to midfield in one play. Brad Johnson fires down the middle. He's got Larry Wallace, who is spun round and round and round, but hung on to the ball. Robert O'Neill came up from the safety position, but Johnson has a hot hand at the moment.
And when you get protection, when your running game's working, it all comes from the offensive line. Brad Johnson was saying before the game he's got lots of confidence in that offensive line. They're playing really well. And you see now the Monarchs offense is starting to make things work.
Yeah, we should talk about that Monarchs offensive line. They've yet to give up a sack this season. And that'll make any quarterback look good. Movement on the line, flags. Were they called or did they jump? Certainly plenty of movement on the defensive front for the Admirals.
It'll be a guard on the Monarchs side if it was the Monarchs.
Johnson's numbers unofficially. We'll just wait for the call.
False start prior to the snap. Number 67. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's Craig Ritter, the left guard.
It's nice to know I can get one right.
Well, you got that one right, Mike. No question there. Let's take another look.
You see Ritter there on the left side. And he's reacting to the motion from the tackle, which he shouldn't do, but we saw a lot of that last night in the game in Frankfurt.
Second down and long, and skipping his way through back to the original line of scrimmage is Tony Brooks. 4 yards short of first down yardage. Carmelia McGill, the inside linebacker, on the stop.
And Tony Brooks slipped as he made his first cut. You could see him just saying, I knew I had it there, because there was room for Tony Brooks. He got through the hole, and there was a lot of open space in front of him.
There's Carmelia McGill from Notre Dame, played with the Bengals in '93 as a free agent. Third down, big play this for the London Monarchs. Johnson pump fakes, buys some time, and he's got Alan Allen, who was open, but that pass overthrown, and Johnson points at himself and says, that one's down to me, but it's his first poor pass of the day. He was 8 for 8 going into that play.
And the play was there. He took 2 looks around, turned back to the left. Allen came back and was open for the ball. He had loads of time, and Tony Brooks had stayed in to block and never even had to touch anybody.
So the Admirals defensively hold up. Sonny Fexico back out. T.C. Wright back deep for the Admirals. Low snap. Fexico gets a piece of it, gets a nice high spiral. This is better from Sonny. And T.C. Wright fumbles the ball. A live ball. The first indication from the Admirals is that they have it, but there's quite a battle going on down there. And let's see who comes up with this one.
And Sonny Fexico's punting the ball better now by getting it up high and back there. It puts a lot of pressure on the people catching it.
It is an Admirals ball. Looks like they've recovered it around the 10, but the Admirals dodged a bullet there. T.C. Wright never had a piece of that.
TC's underneath it, but he's getting good hang time now. The ball's staying up there long enough to give the coverage time to get under it. And see, TC's looking up, sees the guy coming at him. When you see Jason Orton coming, you take your eye off the ball. That's all it takes to cough it up.
Roel Blenman, number 30, is in that pile as well. The one-time London Olympian, but Al Luganbill's team dodged a bullet there. But Jamie Martin starts from his own 10. Ralph Dawkins gets the carry. Rick Newbill in on the stop, and Will Fuhrer is getting a bit of playing time at the quarterback position. The former Denver Bronco, or current Denver Bronco should it be said, who hasn't seen much playing time so far.
For a very highly rated when he came out of college, is technically right now a free agent. He hasn't signed his new contract with the Broncos, but they were eager to get him into the World League and get him some game experience.
Will Fuhrer, the former Chicago Bear, fakes the handoff, gets some pressure, but gets his man as well. He picks up David Jones, the H-back, short of first down yardage.
Nice pressure from Herman Smith and a good job by Fuhrer in getting rid of the ball. David Jones played at the same college as John Taylor.
There's the tail of the tape on Will Fuhrer. Drafted in 1992 by the Chicago Bears and started that year against Dallas through 3 interceptions there. 5 defensive backs out for the London Monarchs on third down. They're expecting a pass. That's what they get. And it looks like the second effort from Sanjay Beach is enough to give Amsterdam a first down. Eric Stevens on the coverage.
And Beach managed to shake off Stevens' tackle just enough to get over the first down marker. You'll see it here. He looks wide now. And Stevens is right up there to stop him, but he manages to just shake it around. He goes down. And oof. Not what you want, making sure you're down. 240 pounds of Herman Smith.
Talking about the big man, we just saw Jonathan Kirksey there on the Amsterdam sideline.
Big John.
First down, Ralph Dawkins up the middle. He's met by Gabriel Oladipo and Rick Newbill. But a pickup of around 3 for the busy Ralph Dawkins. And that should do it as far as the first quarter is concerned. The final 3 seconds. So the first quarter comes to an end. And it's all square. The London Monarchs 7. The Amsterdam Admirals 7.
Abilities are on the sideline. If I want or need any information from up above, I can always get it from my assistant coach on the sideline that's got a headset on. But when I go into a game, I want to be totally prepared on each and every situation that I'm confronted with, and I don't want interference or listening to what somebody else thinks.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
One of my patients was killed last night.
The more innocent she seems,
I don't really know you. You have all the power.
The more suspicious he becomes.
You're trying to see me as a case instead of as a female.
The more passion they share, the more danger he risks.
I'm not who you think I am.
Bruce Willis, no! Color of Night.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
Al Luganbill, the Amsterdam Admirals head coach, making quite a few adjustments during that break. Will Fuhrer gets the second quarter underway, immediately picks up Trumaine Bell, his tight end, who is tripped up after a gain of a couple. Kenny McIntyre on the stop.
Luganbill talking to the defensive backfield and the defensive coordinator, trying to get the coverage straight there because London's passing is taking them to shreds right now.
And number 97, Horace Morris, has checked in. There's the tail of the tape on Trumaine Bell from the University of Nebraska. Tried out with Denver last year. 97, Horace Morris, though, lines up at right defensive end.
And Horace Morris is a player.
And straight away, he's in there and he's forced to fumble.
And Horace Morris does it. He does the business. First play in.
The very first appearance of Horace Morris. And it's huge. It's an Amsterdam turnover. And it's all down to the man from San Francisco.
Said he was a player. The 49ers sent him here for more work. Out of the University of Tennessee, he's only 230 pounds. Played defensive end in college. They're not sure whether he's ever going to be an NFL defensive end or if he should be a linebacker, but watch him come. It's too much speed for the tackle. And just with the left hand, gets the ball loose. One play, Horace Morris, turnover.
And I think A.J. Jenkins, the other defensive end, The man who was cut by the Amsterdam Admirals came up with the recovery. Let's take another look.
Right around Sean Harper. Nothing he can do about it. Morris gets the ball, bumps into the teammate. And good reactions by Jenkins to pick that one up.
So now it's the Monarchs with excellent field position. Horace Morris has done his work already. What an impact player he's proved to be. Johnson hands off to Brooks, who's got a bit of running room up the middle. Meets a couple of linebackers. Keith Franklin, the left linebacker, came up and made the stop with some help from McGill.
Good trap line was blocking hard, and a big hole for Brooks to get through.
And that moves the ball inside the 20-yard line of the Amsterdam Admirals. They call this the red zone. Anywhere inside the 20 of your opponent, you're looking to put points on the board. Second down for Brad Johnson. Drops back, looks to pass. They're trying to say it's incomplete, the Admirals. Ronnie West is trying to convince the officials that he's come up with it.
Ronnie West was holding the ball against his body as he went down. Good time again for Brad Johnson. West is split out to the right of your screen, cuts across, and Johnson hits him.
And it stands. That catch from Ronnie West is indeed a first down and goal. Ronnie West checks out. Bobby Hammond sends in Phil Bryant, one of his other running backs.
Ronnie West, a running back in college. They've turned him into a receiver, and he's turning into a good one.
So first down and goal from the 8 for the London Monarchs, looking to go ahead of the Amsterdam Admirals here. Amsterdam show blitz but don't come. And Alan Allen could have had a piece of that, but he let it bounce away from his hands.
Trying to pick up the short yardage with the wide receiver on a play designed for Johnson to get out there to be able to throw the ball wide. Follows the two backs. Good block. And a little bit off the ball, a little bit behind Allen.
Felt the pressure from safety man Robert O'Neill, number 27, who was coming in ready to lower the boom on Alan Allen, who stays in the game. Larry Wallace is wide left, Allen is wide right. Second down and goal from the 8. London looking to go on top here. Roll out from Johnson, he's got Allen. They're ruling it incomplete. It was just underthrown, but Allen had beaten the coverage.
Johnson and Allen will never have an easier chance for a touchdown because the defensive back had fallen down. I think it was Ron Carpenter. He'll be up on the left of your screen. Robert O'Neill, the safety, was in the middle of the play, and it was Carpenter who had fallen down and tries to leap over Allen, but Brad Johnson just couldn't get the ball there.
That one there for the taking for the Monarchs. They still have a chance. Third down and goal. Pressure coming. Johnson gets a man, but underthrown. He was looking for Allen. Allen again, but good pressure from the Amsterdam Admirals defensively. They hold firm. Number 97, Mike Evans, the right defensive end, put a lot of heat on Brad Johnson.
Johnson did a good job of getting the ball away, and this is one of those tough situations because of the 3 yards missing from the end zone. You're running all your patterns very shallow, close to the goal line, and the defense knows that. But again, Allen was open.
Don Silvestri has nailed 3 of 4 this season. The other one was blocked. No problems there at all. 22 yards for Don Silvestri. That puts the Monarchs on top. 10-7, 12:42 remaining in the first half.
And what's important there is they turn the turnover into points. When you get the ball close to the goal on a turnover, you want to make sure you come out with something.
Well, the fans certainly enjoying what they're seeing so far. Bobby Hammond talking there to his offensive coordinator Lionel Taylor. 22 yards, 6 plays for the London Monarchs. 22-yard field goal from Don Silvestri.
And all made by Horace Morris.
It certainly was. We saw him come out, and he was indeed the impact player that Bobby Hammond said he wanted. Ralph Dawkins and T.C. Wright will be the return men once again for the Admirals. Dawkins, number 22, Wright, number 26. So Amsterdam, for the first time this season, are behind in a ball game. In the first 2 games, in wins over Barcelona and Frankfurt, they got their noses ahead and stayed there. Certainly no offense has moved them around the way London have in this first half.
And that's the important part, Nick. They're really establishing that offensive line.
Silvestri gets a nice high kick that's going to be fielded at the 10 by Dawkins. Victor Abubadiki tried to bring him down. In the end, Dawkins was nailed by his own man, but it was the pressure from Abubadiki, who was the first man there by about 5 yards. There's confirmation of the scoring drive for the Monarchs, culminating in the Silvestri 22-yard field goal.
Victor got down there so fast that he drove Dawkins into, I think it was Sean Harper, and they both went down.
So the Amsterdam Admirals will continue with Will Fuhrer at quarterback. 5 defensive backs in for the London Monarchs. First down. Fuhrer hands off once again, a few yards up the middle. Herman Smith making the stop on Ralph Dawkins. Dawkins, I think, has had a carry on every first down for Amsterdam so far.
Well, you know, Al Luganbill coached at San Diego State. He had a running back named Marshall Falk, and he's used to giving one little back a lot of the ball. And he likes that. It's that same sort of offense he's running here.
Picks up 3 to the 25-yard line there. There's Dawkins. Second down and 7. Dawkins gets the ball again and gets considerably more. Gets nailed by Kevin Porter. Close to first down yardage. Dawkins bounces up. I think one of the officials had a word with Kevin Porter there. And it is a first down. Dan Hoffman. Lewis Capes, number 66, is limping off to the sidelines. But it's a first down for the Amsterdam Admirals. Looking to respond. Fuhrer drops back. Got a man wide open up the middle. Craig McEwen, the tight end, former Washington Redskin. Kevin Porter, the safety, made the stop.
And Fuhrer had lots of time to throw on there. Did a good job of looking around for his receivers until he found one open, and McEwen's still on the ground.
And the London Monarchs players are signaling for the medics to come and take a look.
See, no one's within 5 yards of Fuhrer there. And he just turns around. McEwen's gone into the gap. He's open, and he gets sandwiched there.
3 of them came in. Newbill. Kevin Porter was in there. So too was Eric Stevens. And that has knocked the stuffing out of Craig McEwen, the former Washington Redskin and San Diego Chargers player.
5 years in the NFL. A little bit undersized. A lot of H-back play for him. And Tremaine Bell's come back in the game. Bell, another undersized guy. He played at about 215 in college. He's up to 230 now. And really, as a tight end, they want him to probably carry another 10 or 15 pounds.
So Craig McEwen still on the field. Let's go and rejoin Mike Sherrard in the end zone.
Well, as you saw when the Monarchs had the ball, the short end zone helps the defensive back. He has less ground to cover. The receiver has less ground to get open in. And so a 7-yard end zone, they're not used to it. And the NFL is 10 yards, and so they have to adjust.
There's the confirmation. Mike Sherrard, the NFL wide receiver. I don't think he'd enjoy playing in those end zones.
No, I don't think you get near that little bounce pad at the end there. You put your hands up and say, don't hit me, please. Shorter field goals and extra points after touchdown. That's the good side. The rest of it's all bad.
Meanwhile, it's all good for the Amsterdam Admirals at the moment on this drive. They have 4 wide receivers and a single back on first down in London territory. They fake the handoff. Herman, or rather, it's number 97, Horace Morris, forces another fumble. He's 2 for 2. Horace Morris is going to be a star on this team.
Fuhrer had a little trouble handling the snap. He set up a little bit short, I think, but Horace Morris with another speed move right in on Fuhrer. And here you see Morris on the left of your screen. Now Fuhrer had a little trouble with the snap, but he fakes the handoff, and Morris is just too quick. Right around Rob Baxley.
5-yard loss. Theo Blanco, number 86, is out wide to the right. Theo Blanco, one of the national players. He was born in Germany, played for Stockholm most recently. And Fuhrer looks for him and gets him.
And
first down.
Make no mistake about it, Theo Blanco is a player. He went to high school in America 1 year and then stayed to play at the University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point. He caught 136 passes in 1 season, the year they won the NAIA, which is the smallest college's championship.
Played last season with the Stockholm Nordic Vikings. That's his first catch in the World League.
Something redundant about a Nordic Viking.
Theo Blanco stays in wide right as they stay with the 4 wide receivers, but the handoff up the middle to Dawkins, who gets into the secondary. Rick Newbill and Carlton Lance combine for the stop, but a pickup of close to 8 yards for Al Luganbill's running back. Second down and short for the Amsterdam Admirals, who have mounted a pretty impressive drive here. They got lucky when Horace Morris knocked the ball free of Wlaf and Amsterdam recovered. Other than that, it's been impressive, and Dawkins is proving a real handful. Gabriel Oladipo making the stop there, but Dawkins will be, in fact, has made a first down. Well, we saw Theo Blanco, Frank Temming and Darren Bennett, the other 2 national players active for Amsterdam. Darren Bennett, the Australian, of course. Frank Temming comes in from the Amsterdam Crusaders, one of Europe's top amateur American football teams. Spread formation once again from Amsterdam. They like these 4 wide receivers. And Fura drops, looks, overthrows his man. He was looking there all the way for Ernie Jones, but just overthrew him. Well, we've seen plenty of the Amsterdam national players. The London Monarchs national players have also made their presence felt, mainly on special teams. Victor Abubadike, of course, coughed up a fumble earlier. There they are. Roel Blenman, Steve Hutchinson and Lewis Capes have all been in action this afternoon. Jerry Anderson, the tight end, played in the first game. Robert Flickinger and Mark Cohen round out the London 7. Second down. Fura fumbles the ball once again. There is a flag on the play. Fura is surrounded by Monarchs defensive players. Herman Smith all over him.
More trouble on the snap for Will Fura.
But there is a flag as well. But good pressure coming once again from the Monarchs, who must establish a pass rush, and they're getting it.
Kevin Porter's giving the signal that's a hold on Amsterdam. And they're asking Kevin Porter what he wants to do, so it looks like he's right. And Horace Morris is checking into the game, which means pass rush. They bring Oladipo out.
Dawkins.
Holding, offense number 67. Penalty is declined. Third down.
That's John Bock, the center. Dawkins, by the way, is up to 49 yards rushing so far, and we're still 8:24 left in the first half.
And running from the spread, you see what happens. There's only 6 Monarchs in the middle there. That's what they're trying to do, is to get better odds there. But Fura drops the ball as he's dropping back.
Theo Blanco is the top man on your screen there, wide right. Horace Morris is in the mix as well. And they're coming after Fura, but Fura's got his man, Theo Blanco, once again. But that will be well short of first down yardage. But it is in field goal range, so Terry Belden will come out on 4th down.
That was that same play they ran before. A little hitch for Theo Blanco to try to get him the ball in a little bit of open space. He catches well, and he starts running quickly after he catches.
.35 yards on the kick for Terry Belden to try and level it up. With 7:36 left. And he's drilled that straight down the middle, so we're all square here midway through the second quarter. It's the London Monarchs 10, the Amsterdam Admirals 10.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
There are those who go flat out just for the fun of it, and those who don't. When you go after it like this, you work up a thirst. Now, how you choose to quench that thirst depends on the answer to this simple question. Are you a man or a mouse? Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
The old adage, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. You know, I think about that a lot. So if something happens and we lose the football game, what I want to do is to get as much out of that negative experience as I can, and then use it the next time that we have the chance to compete.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Pleased to meet you. Gorgeous?
From the moment they met, they knew they were meant for each other.
I find everything about you endlessly fascinating.
Join the club.
Now they're proving that love is still alive.
I need a lubricant. What? For my eyes. They're drying up.
And in the air. It's Pat, the movie.
This is something we'll both enjoy.
It's Pat, this month on DirecTV.
All tied up at White Hart Lane. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. It's the Monarchs and the Admirals all square at 10 apiece. Terry Belden is about to get the action underway for us again. Ronnie West and Steve Hutchinson, the return men, back deep for the London Monarchs. And it's going to be fielded at the 11 by Ronnie West. He looks for some running room up the middle, spins round past a couple of tacklers and gets it over the 40-yard line. A useful return that of close to 30 yards from Ronnie West. Frank Temming, I think, eventually made the stop, the former Amsterdam Crusader. 11 plays and 57 yards on the last Admirals scoring drive. That was impressive, Mike.
Yeah, good play by the Admirals. They spread out their offense to try to get London's defense to spread as well, and then ran at them, which worked well. Ronnie West has such good balance when he gets hit. He doesn't take the big strides. He stays upright, but he keeps his legs moving and does a good job on kickoff return.
Al Wooten and Victor Abubadike in the backfield for the Monarchs. Brad Johnson stays at the helm. Wooten, the big blocking back, gets it and pushes his way forward for a couple of yards. Cedric Figaro, number 52, finally made the stop. They've got a lot of big defensive players coming up with big plays, the Amsterdam Admirals. I think they've been defensive players of the week in both weeks 1 and 2. Carmelia McGill got it last week for a fumble return for a touchdown and 11 tackles against Frankfurt. In week 1, Ron Carpenter got it for 3 picks and 4 tackles for good measure. I think 3 special teams tackles in there as well. Second down and about 8. Johnson feels the heat, but gets a man who was wide open and just dropped it, and Victor Abubadike showed his frustration there. Just a small lapse in concentration, and that was enough.
And Victor was the safety valve on that, and Johnson found him when no one else was open. Let's take a look and see. Now Victor's going to come out of the backfield on the right of your screen. You see him drifting out to the outside. He just runs a little turnaround, and he starts to turn around again and run before he actually has the ball in his hands. Thinking about the moves he's going to throw on the defender.
Victor stays in with Tony Brooks for company in the backfield on 3rd down and 8. The Monarchs looking to generate some offense here. Johnson feeling the pressure but gets a lot of time but still can't find an open man. And now looking for running room. And Johnson still on his feet, but not what Bobby Hammond would want to see his quarterback doing. I think Bobby Hamilton, the defensive end, eventually pushed him out of bounds, but Johnson simply couldn't find an open receiver. The coverage too good.
Good heady running by Johnson, just but waiting for somebody to come back, and great coverage. He gets a nice block and some help here. Mike Moody's going to come back and open things up for him. But you see, trying to get one of his receivers to come to where he can throw the ball. Then he decides, heck, I'll run it.
But I tell you, if you're Bobby Hammond, you're thinking, ouch.
Yes, you don't want your guy getting hurt, but you've got to go for the first down. You don't like to see a guy when he's got the chance of maybe making it, stepping out of bounds to protect himself.
Brave stuff from Brad Johnson. He came up 3 yards short. Sonny Fexico will kick it away to T.C. Wright. Gets the spiral, forces Wright back to his own 5-yard line of the coverage there. Roel Blenman, number 30, made the first hit. Victor Abubadike, number 35, finished him off. In fact, it was Jason Orton, number 25, but Blenman, the man that stood him up, number 30.
And TC might have been thinking about letting that one go into the end zone because it was coming down fast. Look at how happy Sonny Fexico is after 2 weeks of real problems with his kicking. He seems to have found his groove this week.
We know the guy can kick. We've seen it in practice, but in game conditions in those first 2 games, he just wasn't getting it together. Good to see Sonny finally connecting.
It's one of those things where you start getting your rhythm as a kicker, then all of a sudden everything works.
Flag down on the field. We'll have to wait for the official call on that.
Ineligible, downfield early on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
And that is a shame. Sonny Fexico will have to come back out. Somebody jumped too soon. I must admit the coverage was outstanding on that punt.
Well,
Two men down there.
That may be the reason why, because the lineman can't go until after the ball is kicked.
So T.C. Wright will get another chance. Sonny Fexico will also get another chance. There is Sonny.
TC's real name is Tory Lee, which
that's TL.
Well, yeah, that's how it translates to me too. It must stand for something else.
TC. We'll find out. So Sonny Fexico will kick it to Ralph Dawkins, who's taken over from TC. Dawkins, the danger man.
And that's a smart move by Amsterdam because he's rested now.
Another high kick, possibly the best yet from Fexico. Good coverage downfield. Takes a hop, picked up around the 12 by Jason Orton. So Will Furrer will have a lot of work to do. It's London and Amsterdam all square at 10 apiece.
Now that you've given her away, you'll always cherish the memories. You'll always remember the joy. And you'll never forget the bill.
$220 for parsley?
But hey, isn't that why you got Visa Gold in the first place? With all the purchase power to handle any occasion. Even the most precious. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
The day that I stop getting nervous or anxious before a football game is the day that I'm going to hang them up, because in this business, when you start taking things in stride, there's somebody that's going to be out there that maybe gets a little more nervous or a little more anxious or have more anxieties, and they're going to beat you.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
You're 40 minutes late.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dickey.
Stanley Ipkiss was having one of those days.
I have no money. I have no car. All I got is this.
Until he had a little change of face. Now, the Zero is a hero.
Spoken!
Jim Carrey is the Mask.
Somebody stop me!
Playing on DirecTV.
So the Admirals with a lot of ground between themselves and the London Monarchs end zone. All square at 10 apiece, 5:30 left first half. Rick Newbill stopped Ralph Dawkins for a couple of tough yards there.
And Oladipo doing a good job in the middle of the line. I hate seeing New York Yankee caps in the London Monarchs game. I mean,
Doesn't seem quite right, does it?
They don't belong. They have no place here.
Will Furrer has completed 6 of 7 for 58 so far. Getting the playing time he was hoping for at long last. Gives the handoff to to Dawkins rather, who spins and turns and twists, and that is where Dawkins is so dangerous. He made 2 men miss there.
Nice running by Dawkins, and Horace Morris again was putting the pressure on. Dawkins was just by him as he came in.
But Dawkins is going to be a factor in this game. 49 yards and counting. This fella's looking for a 100-yard day this afternoon, and he'll pick up some receiving yardage as well.
And if he can get a 100-yard day, it means Amsterdam's going to be in a good position in this game.
3rd and a couple of feet for the Amsterdam Admirals. And Furrer hangs on to it and picks up a first down on the quarterback sneak. So Will Furrer has done a pretty effective job coming on in relief of the starter, Jamie Martin. Those numbers, well, they stack up pretty well. Those are the kind of numbers the Denver Broncos are hoping to see.
That's right. He's had a little bit of problems on his handoffs and snaps, but he's got a stronger arm than Jamie Martin, which he's shown a couple of times here.
First down, Admirals. The handoff once again, a flag comes in, and they stop the play. Ralph Dawkins was met by Dave Hoffman, but a flag early there. And certainly the Monarchs pointing in the direction of the Admirals, but they would do that, wouldn't they?
False start prior to the snap, number 72 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So the call goes against the Amsterdam Admirals.
One gets the feeling he meant Sean Harper, 73, because there is no 72 on the Admirals.
Good to see the Prime Minister enjoying the action this afternoon.
Now, which one's the one who's dead and we supposedly see him popping up in all kinds of strange places? And which one's Elvis?
Theo Blanco, number 86, once again in here. Eric Stevens had him covered, but Blanco, for a national player, is having quite an impact in this game.
Like we said, he's a very well-qualified national player, and they're trying the same play to get him the ball and see if they can make some room for him. He'll be on the left of your screen. Quick three-step drop, right out to Blanco, coming toward the quarterback, so it's a safe pass. And if he doesn't get brought down from behind, he's got running room in front of him.
Blanco's third catch of the afternoon, but he checks out of the lineup now. Craig McEwen, the backup tight end, is in on second and about 14. The handoff once again. Dawkins looking for running room up the middle. Dave Hoffman gets an assist from Kevin Porter, and that's going to be a pickup of only 2 or 3 for Dawkins. The London Monarchs will let him have that.
Nice read by Hoffman as he got to Dawkins as he came through the hole, sliding alongside the line.
And Lewis Capes was in on that play as well and assisted on the stop, but is now checked out of the lineup. Bobby Hammond certainly giving his British players plenty of playing time here this afternoon.
And he's rotating his linemen to try to rest the tackles and to get the best pass rushers in at the ends.
3rd and 10. Fura going, gets his man. Nice pickup from Sanjay Beach. That was a superb. In fact, it's dropped.
He caught it. He made the catch, but dropped it, unfortunately, because the pass was right there. And it was nearly tipped. Now watch, this pass is nearly tipped by Horace Morris, who's coming in on the left. We keep saying Horace Morris. He just misses having his hand on it, and the two receivers collide. Beach had it in his hands, but Jones bumped into him.
And Stevens and Carlton Lance combining on the stop. Kenny McIntyre is the deep man. Unofficially, Dawkins over 60 yards on the ground now. Darren Bennett looking to boom another one. It's high. Not quite the depth of some of his previous ones. And it will be downed after another little hop at around the 32-yard line. So no chance of a return there for Kenny McIntyre.
Another good kick. It was a bit short because he was hurrying it up to make sure he could get it away quickly.
So we'll have one play before the 2-minute warning.
Was that a Nick Halling doll? I just saw that.
No, too much hair. So the Monarchs will get their hands on the ball. Brad Johnson staying in at quarterback, 10-all. It's turned into one of those kind of knockout type of games that we expected with the Amsterdam Admirals. Neither team giving an inch. Both slugging away. Johnson drops, fires, looks for his man, Tony Brooks. They're ruling it an incomplete pass. Robert O'Neill had the coverage. So the 2-minute warning in the first half. The two teams locked up at 10 apiece.
Where the girls are naked all the time.
Will you take your clothes off for $103.62? Oh!
What started out
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
as a little day trip
Who is she?
She's Brad's new math tutor.
turned into the adventure
What are you doing? I'm staying for a while.
of a lifetime.
This is a woman.
Melanie Griffith, Ed Harris,
Which brings us to sex.
Milk Money. Playing this month on DirecTV.
Yesterday in the World League, the Barcelona Dragons overcame the Rhine Fire 32-30. The key play there, the Dragons got a deuce, the first of the World League, when they returned a blocked extra point. That proved to be crucial, and the Scottish Claymores came back from behind to beat the Galaxy 20-14 in the Waldstadion. They scored the winning touchdown with 44 seconds left. Two close games yesterday, a close one here this afternoon. 2 minutes left first half, the two teams locked together at 10 apiece. Brad Johnson over 100 yards on the afternoon so far, looking for a few more here before half-time. Second down and 10. Johnson goes over the middle, looks for Tony Brooks, and the ball just thrown behind him.
And Tony Brooks had some room there. If he got the ball, he had a good 4 or 5 yards to make space as the linebackers were coming up. But again, I think thinking about where he's going to run, drops the ball off his fingers. We were down in Frankfurt for that game live on Sky last night. Matt Blunden, play of the season. Nick Halling called it a tremendous job as he's being tackled. We thought he's throwing the ball away, completes a pass to the 1 yard line. They drive it in from the 1. Claymores win. Great game.
Incredible game. Third down, big play coming up for the Monarchs. Johnson steps back, steps up into the pocket, goes upstairs for Alan Allen.
The flag's got to come, and it does.
For that, it had to come down. Alan Allen was ready to pick that one up. He'd beaten Kelly Sims.
He'd beaten Kelly Sims, and Johnson had the pass right there. Allen's looking over his shoulder, just about to take it in, and he got tackled. Alan Allen's got about, look at that, 2 yards. Tackle comes in before the catch. No question about that.
Now, are they going to call that flagrant, or are they going to call it accidental? If it's flagrant, they'll tack on 15 yards from where it...
First down.
Well, they've taken the soft option. It's 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, unless it's intentional. That looked pretty intentional to me.
I'd agree with you there, Nick, and I think the crowd agrees with you too, but again, you expect they would.
We haven't yet seen, I don't think, certainly not in the games we've seen, Mike, an official call a flagrant pass interference. There's certainly been 1 or 2.
It's just the problem. Part of the problem is the word flagrant, which makes it seem like it has to be something rough or violent. It really is intentional, is what the word's supposed to mean.
15 yards tacked on, and Tony Brooks trying to get a few more, but gets no more than a return to the line of scrimmage. Ron Carpenter knocking him out of bounds with some help from Keith Franklin.
And you hear how quickly that Amsterdam defense reacts, because you could hear them all yelling draw. Now what happens here in the draw play, they make it look like a pass, and then Johnson's got to hand the ball to Brooks as he's dropping back. Not a deceptive handoff, which is why everybody recognized it. About 5 or 6 of the Amsterdam players started yelling draw. Tony Brooks had nowhere to run.
Second down, clock running, 1:43 left. First half. Brooks, the lone setback. Johnson fakes to Brooks and goes over the middle. He's found Ronnie West, who's nailed, and they're ruling that an incomplete pass. Mike Titley, rather, the intended receiver, couldn't hang on. Robert O'Neill came up and just lowered the boom on Titley.
That would have been a brilliant catch if he had made it, because he got hit real hard right on the hands as he was making the catch. But it was the same kind of ball that he missed in the end zone last week, and we saw Lionel Taylor giving him the little basic training and bringing that ball in with the two-handed grip and not getting it caught on your elbows, so that when you do get hit, it pops back out.
Another big third down coming up for the London Monarchs. Ronnie West, Alan Allen, Larry Wallace, the 3 wide receivers. Johnson overthrows his man who got hit. I think Alan Allen just got hit by Kelly Sims, but no flag. So once again, the London Monarchs offensively come up empty.
And Kelly Sims gets his revenge for the penalty here. Nice move by Allen. He's got space, and the pass is just too high, and Sims takes the easy shot.
Well, we talked, Mike, about how London were moving the ball in the first quarter offensively. They haven't moved it much in this second quarter.
And they've gotten away from that ground game, getting the offensive line's dominance that got them going.
Fexico will kick it to Dawkins. Fexico has certainly got his range. Dawkins will let that one go, and it takes an excellent bounce. As far as the London Monarchs are concerned, it bounces back. So the Amsterdam Admirals, instead of taking over at their own 20, had it gone through the end zone, will instead take over inside their own 10.
And that's why they didn't let it go in last time. That's what can happen. Even though sometimes you think the ball will bounce through the end zone, they took the flat bounce, and it's a great situation now for the Monarchs with not too much time left in the half, but maybe enough to force a punt from close in on the end zone.
Well, Will Fura's coming in. The good news for Will is that Horace Morris, his nemesis in this second quarter, is on the Monarchs sideline.
The bad news is A.J. Jenkins is in, and he's no slouch rushing the passer himself.
And Jenkins is fired up for this one. Herman Smith, the other defensive end. First down and 10, and they give it to Dawkins, as they seem to do every time on first down.
And you see what's happening is the side the tight end lines up, the power side, is where the Monarchs are putting Herman Smith, who's better against the run. So either Jenkins or Horace Morris goes to the weak side, and Amsterdam's running at the weak side, figuring that Jenkins or Morris is easier to run
London,
on.
that's their first timeout.
Well, the Monarchs stop the clock. Obviously, they feel confident that they can stop the Admirals here and get the ball back.
You want to try to force the team to punt from close to their own goal line. The worst thing that can happen is you take the punt, you've got pretty good field position. You can run 1 or 2 plays for a field goal.
There's Ralph Dawkins, over 50 yards now. Officially picked up around 4 on that carry. He's deceptively tough, Mike. Good second effort every time.
And he can run all day long. He did that at Louisville, where he's holds the school record for pass receptions, as well as being a great runner there. You can use him out of the backfield to catch the ball, and of course he returns kicks too.
On second down and around 6, the London Monarchs send out 5 defensive backs for Wlaf. So the Monarchs defensively looking to hold the Admirals here. The Admirals with a long way to go, and they give it up the middle, a draw play up the middle, and a lot of running room. This is what Dawkins does. So from penning them deep in their own territory, Dawkins, and now it's Amsterdam calling a timeout, and rightly so. Dawkins just rips off something like 35
watch
yards.
64 Kawarda, the guard, coming on the trap there from the right side of the line all the way over to the left to stop Herman Smith, and that's the block that made that run. A pulling guard from the right side, trapping Herman Smith, who'd stepped in, no one blocked him, and then got blown out by Brett Kawarda.
Edward Buck eventually came up and made the stop, but
here you see again, this Kawarda coming down the line and zeroes in on Smith. He had him all the way.
and isn't this a frightening sight? Dawkins in open field.
Well, you see how he makes the missed tackles and then just runs through one. Really tough to bring down. Not even out of breath.
Ralph Dawkins looking to pound this London Monarch defensive unit, and he ripped off a big one there to his own 44-yard line.
And now for London it becomes a question of keeping Amsterdam out of field goal range. So you're in the last minute of the second quarter.
First down, Admirals. Farah looks with 4 wide receivers. Just one setback, pressure coming, but Farah steps up, takes a hit, but gets his man. It's complete to Craig McEwen, first down. And we have an injured offensive lineman for the Amsterdam Admirals down. It may be Pete Pale.
And Furr did a nice job of standing up to the rush there and getting the ball away with an arm around him.
Have one timeout left.
So Amsterdam take their second one.
And Calvin Harris has come out on the, and here's what you see with Pale. He's trying to protect his quarterback.
Just gets twisted around.
Right. And rather than fall down on Furr, he tried to stop himself, and that got his leg twisted.
So Peter Pale, the left guard from Hawaii, a 3-year starter at Hawaii, tried out with Philadelphia last year.
We said all 3 of those interior linemen, Kawarda, Bach, and Pale, they were all free agents. They weren't drafted out of college last year, but they all went to NFL camps and did well enough so that they figure a good season in the World League will get them into the NFL next year.
Well, Horace Morris is in his right defensive end for the London Monarchs, but Pale still shaken up, and unofficially Dawkins now on 97 yards rushing.
And you see hit just after he let go of the ball by Billy Lofton. Furr goes down.
That's an awkward twist.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's limping off very slowly and painfully.
Let's hope it is just a twist.
Amsterdam have 1 timeout left this half, 44 seconds remaining. London have 2, should they wish to use them. But Peter Pale is looking very sore indeed.
Last player cut by the Philadelphia Eagles last year, just before the season started. So Kelvin Harris, who replaces him at left guard, has some NFL experience with the Rams.
Spread formation once again for the Amsterdam Admirals. Herman's coming after it. Herman comes up with a big play once again. They're ruling it an incomplete forward pass. Horace Morris, not Herman Smith. I'm getting my defensive ends confused. Horace Morris making yet another big play.
And welcome to the game, Kelvin, because he had a tremendously difficult time with Billy Lofton on that one too. The rush was coming in. Horace Morris is jumping up and down, telling the crowd to get in the game, make some more noise.
There's David Jones we see there. The H-back, he hasn't been much of a factor in this game so far.
And we were expecting he'd be a big factor.
Second down, they stay with the spread formation. They give to Dawkins, who breaks one tackle, but Horace Morris came back and tripped him up from behind. This number 97 is going to be a real star on this London Monarchs team, but Dawkins picks up a couple.
You can see why they thought he could play linebacker, because he's so incredibly quick.
Third down and 8. Big play this for Amsterdam, looking to go on top first half. Furrer puts it up in the air, but no one at home. Eric Stevens looked to pick it off, but no one there for Will Furrer.
And Stevens would have picked it off if he wasn't going to run into that center field wall there at the end of the end zone.
So with 12 seconds remaining, it's a 4th down for the Amsterdam Admirals. They send out their punter, Darren Bennett. Will Furrer, I think, probably wanted to go for it on 4th down, but Al Luganbill says, let's play it safe. Dawkins unofficially 19 carries, 98 yards and a touchdown.
Do you think Darren Bennett could drop kick a field goal?
I think he probably could. He has got some leg. Kenny McIntyre standing hopefully back waiting for a return. Bennett ices that one. That will go through the end zone and into about the 5th row. A phenomenal kick from Darren Bennett. I think a coach would like to see a little bit more touch on that ball. He should have looked for the corner, but there's no question that this fella has got unbelievable range.
Well, knowing there's only one play left in the half, I think all you want to do is play safe, make sure there wasn't going to be any return on it at all, and they'll be content to give them one play from the 20.
Well, with one play left, Jerry Anderson, number 87, is in the lineup for the London Monarchs. That means all 7 of their British nationals have seen some playing time in this first half. But it's a one-play situation for Johnson. Larry Wallace coming in too. Bennett incidentally averaging 45.8 yards on his kicks so far.
And you'll settle for that in the NFL, much less the World League.
And on allocation from the San Diego Chargers.
He's not only on allocation, but he's the national player. They get a bargain there.
Brad Johnson drops to one knee. The crowd don't like it, but that does it for the first half. It's been nip and tuck. Nothing there for either team in terms of establishing big momentum. Half time, it's 10 apiece.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Catches a football, and then he has to get both feet down in bounds. It's an art peculiar to the National Football League. And
who was the best at it? Raymond Barry?
Oh, there's no question. You know, Raymond was such a gifted receiver that he spent endless hours practicing this routine of getting he called it the toe dance.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 World League season. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
Mickey, do you take Mallory to be your lawful wedded wife?
When two people feel this strongly about each other,
I love you, Mickey.
You'd be crazy to stand in their way.
Immobilize me and I'm on my way.
Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Robert Downey Jr., and Tommy Lee Jones.
The whole world's coming to an end, Mal.
Natural Born Killers, an Oliver Stone film.
On DirecTV.
10-10, London Monarchs and the Amsterdam Admirals. London certainly started better in the first quarter despite that early fumble from Victor Bubadike, but Amsterdam, behind the running of Ralph Dawkins, really started to turn up the pressure a little bit in that second quarter.
And we're getting a good balanced football game by two teams that are both doing some of the things they want to do, but not all of them. I think London got away in the second quarter from what they had done well in the first quarter, which was to mix the plays up and establish the running game. Amsterdam not establishing much of a passing game, but the running game with Dawkins is working really well. He's got almost 100 yards.
And I'm sure I know exactly what Bobby Hammond's priority is in this third quarter. Stop Dawkins. 98 yards he's gained so far. It looks like Jamie Martin is going to get back behind center for the Amsterdam Admirals. The allocated player from the Los Angeles Rams stepped out and saw his backup Will Fuhrer come in and do a pretty decent job.
Fuhrer had a good second quarter. The team moved pretty well with him, and Brad Johnson's gone all the way for the Monarchs, and it looks like he's going to get the start in the third quarter as well.
Terry Belden will get us underway. Steve Hutchinson and Ronnie West are the two return men. Hutchinson, the former London Olympian. So the third quarter just about to get underway. 10-10, Amsterdam and London all tied up at White Hart Lane. And this one is going to be fielded by Steve Hutchinson at around his own 13. A real speedster, this fella, but runs into Kelly Sims.
And Kelly Sims can lay some hit on you.
So those are the numbers from half-time. Not an awful lot in it. The key stat there, though, look at the rushing yards. Monarchs 27, the Admirals 102.
And that's reflected in the time of possession as well. Monarchs with a bit more time on the D than the Admirals.
One turnover apiece. Victor, of course, fumbling for the London Monarchs on their very first offensive play.
Both teams converting the turnovers into points, which is so important in football.
Tony Brooks, the lone setback for the Monarchs. And Johnson is flushed out of the pocket and brought down from behind, and that'll go down as a loss. This Amsterdam defense playing it tough. And they're turning up the wick. Mike Evans, the left defensive end. That's the story of the game so far. Dawkins a 1-yard run. Wallace a 26-yard pickup from Johnson. And a couple of field goals from Don Silvestri and Terry Belden. Brad Johnson, who's just been sacked for the first time this season, was looking for Ronnie West on that second and long play.
Trying to come under the pass defense, which was laying back a bit, but Johnson got the throw between West. You see nobody's coming. There's only a 4-man rush. The linebackers are all dropping back, so they come under it with West. And West had his hands crossed as he tried to come back for the ball. Pass just a little bit behind him.
So straight away, this Amsterdam defense has got London back deep. And they've got 5 defensive backs in. The Admirals, third and long. And they go for the draw play up the middle with Tony Brooks, and the Admirals were not fooled, and they stopped him for another loss. A big defensive series for the Admirals, that.
And the Monarchs out of sequence again, passing on first down, running on third, trying to catch them by surprise, but that's not working. They really want to come out and establish that game like they did in the first quarter.
Sonny Fexico checks off to make sure there's 11 men on the field. T.C. Wright waits at around his own 31-yard line. Fexico takes his time, as he does every time he gets away. A poor one, takes a nice hop. T.C. Fields at the 30 and slips, and that allows the London Monarchs coverage team to bring him down. Nick Smith, number 56, the linebacker, with the stop.
And that was that low kind of end-over-end kick that Fexico gets when it's not in it, when he's not in his rhythm and it's not working right. And T.C. Wright had a chance to make a big return there, and Will Fuhrer is back in at quarterback. They're keeping him in after a good second quarter.
So, to the 36-yard line for Will Fuhrer and the Amsterdam Admirals. First down, Admirals, and it's a straightforward handoff up the middle. Once again to Ralph Dawkins, a pickup of 3 or 4 yards.
It looks like offensive lineman Peter Palla has a torn ligament in his knee. They're going to fly him back to New York tonight, then down to Birmingham so the doctors can look at him. But it's a terrible injury for the Amsterdam Admirals.
The voice there of Mike Sherrard bringing us news we didn't want to hear, really, I suppose. That injury sounds serious, torn knee ligament. Second down, once again looking for the draw play. Billy Lofton, the defensive tackle, coming up and tripping up his man from behind. But they're still looking to pound it out on the ground behind this fella, Ralph Dawkins. Over 100 yards now. And look at that comparison. Brooks 21 yards, Dawkins on 98, and I think you can tack 4 or 5 more yards on top of that as well. Dawkins on the ground, the story of this game so far. 3rd down and 5. The feint from Fuhrer, a lot of pressure. He does well to get it off and was looking for Sanjay Beach. Good coverage. Horace Morris forced a lot of pressure, and Carlton Lance had pretty good coverage on Sanjay Beach as well. And there's a flag down around Fuhrer. And from the body language of Horace Morris, it looks as if a late hit may be a call here. Horace.
And Will Fuhrer wasn't going to outrun Horace Morris at all, but he did manage to get the ball away.
And Horace looking very unhappy with himself. We'll wait for the official decision, but I think number 97 is going to get the call here. Let's see if we can see it.
Here you see the pursuit. Horace Morris actually outruns
Personal
Fuhrer.
foul, roughing the passer, number 78 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, 78 is in fact Herman Smith, but Horace Morris was also in on that one.
So it was Smith coming in with the second hit as Fuhrer was going down, but he wasn't down at the time. Close call.
So the Admirals get a break. And they've got the ball to London's 43-yard line, early second half. Fuhrer looking, fires, complete to Sanjay Beach, was it? They're ruling it incomplete. And Beach doesn't like that call one little bit.
Sanjay Beach was sliding along the ground and picked the ball up. Question is, did the ball hit the ground before he got it or not?
So Sanjay Beach, the old NFL veteran, still arguing that he got it. Let's see if we can take another look.
Tough to tell even from there, but it looked like he may have trapped it along the ground. He had his hands on the sides of the ball rather than underneath it, which is a good sign that he might have been trapping it.
I think if we'd had instant replay, they still might have said that was inconclusive, so the officials would allow their play to stand. 2nd down, 4 wide receivers, and Beach comes up with an outstanding catch. A flag goes down, but Beach somehow held on to that one. Eric Stevens on the coverage. They're looking to get Beach one-on-one with Stevens, and there is a flag.
Sit.
And that's going against the Monarchs.
Pass interference against the Monarchs. Let's see Beach now. One-on-one. Little fake to the outside, cuts in. Stevens tries to go inside him. You see where the interference was. Just his hand on the back, and Beach had to go the wrong way. He actually lost the ball.
He did lose the ball. And that's why they've called the penalty. The pass ruled incomplete.
Sanjay Beach, an old buddy of Mike Sherrard's from the 49er days. And they're going to Sanjay now.
And he's lined up once again at the bottom of your screen against Eric Stevens. 1st down, another costly penalty. They fake the handoff to Dawkins. They look for Beach, but they go short instead. And it went to Ernie Jones coming up inside and underneath. Stevens came up and made the stop.
Will Fuhrer did a good job on that because he had a face full of Horace Morris coming right at him as he got the ball away. There's Morris on the right of your screen, but we'll watch the Jones, the receiver. I was saying before, he went to Delaware State. John Taylor from the 49ers, that's his college. Jones is the guy who broke all of John Taylor's records at Delaware State.
And that really is saying something. 2nd down for the Admirals. 10-10 here at White Hart Lane, but the Admirals looking to break it out on top. Beach gives to Dawkins, who is nailed at the line of scrimmage by Dave Hoffman. Hoffman came up from middle linebacker and tripped him up. Now Luganbill, who does like his one-back set. He did it with Marshall Falk at San Diego State. Here at Amsterdam, It's Ralph Dawkins that's his donkey, or his workhorse, should I say.
And you see the coaching, it's good sign of coaching. Field goal alert. He wants to get the guys who are going to be on the field goal team ready to come on if they don't get the first down this way. This is the way you don't wind up with too many or too few players on the field.
Third down, Monarchs defense looking to hold here. Pressure coming from Morris, but he's got a completion. It's going to be close to first down yardage. Ernie Jones comes up with it. Carlton Lance and Eric Stevens arguing the call. In fact, it's David Jones.
And David Jones was trying to get that on that first down step. He had to come back for the ball a little bit. He wants his forward momentum to be judged over the line, but it's going to be very close. The chains are coming onto the field for the measurement.
So David Jones, who we haven't seen a lot of, the H-back. And here come the chains. And Lewis Capes, number 66, checks into the game. Son of Jeff Capes. For any new viewers, and this could be a very important measurement indeed for both teams. And they come up short, the Amsterdam Admirals. So do they kick the field goal, or do they go for a short fourth down? They've converted 3 of 11 third downs, the Admirals.
And they're going to go for it.
A gutsy call from Al Luganbill, going for it on fourth down, but when you've got a quarterback that can sneak and you've got Ralph Dawkins.
Lewis Capes and Gabriel Oladipo in the middle of the line. It's coming at you guys.
Big play for the Admirals, looking to score their first points in the second half. And the fans getting into it. Furrer sneaks, doesn't get a lot, but he didn't need a lot. And now this is going to come down to the officials. A.J. Jenkins came up from left defensive end and nailed Furrer.
And Furrer definitely didn't get it on the first move. The question is whether they'll give him the fall forward, whether the whistle had blown before he fall forward or not.
Well, this one comes down to the officials. Where are they going to spot that ball?
And as we all know, zebras are better at stripes than spots.
I think we're going to get a measurement on this. It looks like it's going to be very close indeed. Will Furrer, well, his face would suggest they haven't got it, but that's going to be close. And the Monarchs all over it. And it's short. The Monarchs defense holds, in fact, holds by a considerable yardage. By quite a way. In fact, Furrer will have probably lost yardage on that.
And the thing is, he ducks down too soon. He ducks down before any contact's made. Look at Newbill standing him up. There's no way he's getting down. Everybody's in on that. There's Lewis Capes. Everybody went low, came back up. That's a crucial play by the London defense. A big play.
They came up strong. Now it's the turn of the London offense, which has gone very quiet in this game, to come up with something themselves. And they give to Al Wooten, the big blocking fullback, who tries to pick up some tough inside yardage, trying to soften up the Admirals' defense against the run. And that's going to be a tough job.
Got Gary Howe and Malcolm Showell in the middle.
There's Al Wooten, who hasn't seen a lot of playing time today. Tony Brooks, the favoured receiver, getting the start, or the favoured running back getting the start, along with Victor Ebubadike. But Wooten's contribution to this Monarchs offensive package, absolutely crucial. Picks up 3 or 4. Second down for Brad Johnson, who goes downstairs once again. Al Wooten nailed after maybe a couple. Robert O'Neill.
And Malcolm Showell's not back in the game, but you see big 78, Blaine Berger, who got in on that stop. So Showell's probably, it's the injury that's keeping him out, but Berger at he can bench press 450. He squats 605. He weighs only 275, but he's strong.
And that is a strong, tough defensive front four for Al Luganbill. Probably the best in the league. They go for Alan Allen. Allen should have picked up first down yardage, or maybe he went back. He was picked up by Franklin and Carpenter. And this one's going to go down to where they spot this.
Ron Carpenter was a safety in college, a very sure tackler. They didn't know if he really had the quickness to play in the NFL, so he said, okay, I'll be a cornerback if you want me to, and I'll show you how quick I am.
And Alan Allen has come back to the sideline looking very shaken up. Larry Wallace, their other starting wide receiver, isn't 100% fit either.
So we may get our first look at Robert Jackson.
Robert Jackson, the new man in, acquired on waivers from Barcelona. It is a first down for the Monarchs, with the clock continuing to run. Ronnie West is in the game, number 26, along with Larry Wallace, the man who's playing hurt, but they go to Tony Brooks, who just gets hammered. Franklin came up and made the stop, along with Carmelia McGill, and a big loss for Tony Brooks. They cannot establish the running game against this Amsterdam front seven.
And the line is holding up the London blockers now, and that's leaving the linebackers a lot of room to just penetrate and come through, which is what McGill did on that play. Howe and Berger in the middle doing a good job of standing up the blockers.
So it brings up a second down and long. So in comes a fifth defensive back for the passing down, and it is indeed a pass over the middle to Mike Titley. They got him isolated with the linebacker Cedric Figaro. Titley will pick up a few, but it's close to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And we're seeing what the Monarchs had to do in the first 2 weeks of the season to spread out the defense a bit and get their pass game going. They had to go to Mike Titley, who they think is probably their best offensive weapon. He's got speed, he's got good size, and he's got pretty good hands.
Led the World League going into this game with 14 receptions, a lead he shared with David Jones of the Admirals. Mike Titley.
With West and Wallace wide, they don't really have a deep threat in there.
Third down and around 7. Johnson pump fakes, puts it upstairs. Larry Wallace has got some space, but it's almost picked off. And Wallace drew double coverage. Jay Phillips came over and covered an awful lot of ground from the safety position and broke it up and could have had a pick.
And I think Brad knows he hung that one up there a bit because Wallace got open. You see he's over on the right of your screen, and the pump fake again works. Wallace took a hit as he got open because the defender knew he was beat, but the ball hangs up there. That gives Jay Phillips enough time to come over from the safety spot and nearly make the interception.
You know, Jay Phillips will look back at that and think, I should have come up with that one.
Definitely.
TC Wright back deep, Sonny Fexico in to punt, and they come after him. Sonny gets it off, and TC will have to field at his 35 and makes a mess of it and just covers up. Whenever you see a kick returner running to the ball, so often they mishandle it.
TC was thinking that he could get in there quick and get going, but he was looking up at the guys coming down on coverage before he got the ball in his hand.
So it's still 10 apiece between the London Monarchs and the Amsterdam Admirals. 6:58 left, third quarter.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
I think everybody now acknowledges the fact that Jerry Rice does so many things. He catches the ball, he can get deep, he catches the ball short, he can break tackles, he can run away from tacklers, he can get the ball into the end zone. He makes the big play in the big game.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
People don't do the gauntlet anymore. We are gonna risk death a number of times on this trip. You're gonna scream your guts out. You'll love it. Pump it hard!
From the director of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon. The River Wild.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
Well, Bobby Hammond, the head coach of the London Monarchs, knows what the rest of us knew all along. But the Amsterdam Admirals defensively don't give anything up at all. This has been a tough afternoon for his offense.
And the Admirals defense is just getting better and better. Even though Malcolm Shaw hasn't been in, they're starting to dominate the pit in there.
Meanwhile, it's Amsterdam with a chance to go ahead. Will Fuhrer staying in at quarterback, and he's got his intended receiver was David Jones, the H-back, and Jones comes up with it. Edward Buck and Eric Stevens push him out of bounds with some help from Carlton Lance, but David Jones starting to get into the game, and that's an ominous sign from a London perspective.
And watch Will Fuhrer freeze the linebacker and the safety with that little pump fake there, then he's going outside the whole way, and look at how open David Jones is.
Theo Blanco, number 86, checks into the lineup. He's split wide to the left. Jones, number 80, in the slot just in front of him. They hand off to Dawkins, who spins but doesn't fool Gabriel Oladipo, who brought him down with some help from number 66, Lewis Capes.
Gabriel Oladipo is playing a good game in there in the defensive line, and Lewis Capes doing his bit as well.
There is Lewis, one of 7 British players on this London Monarchs lineup. Lewis Capes went to Colorado State, played a couple of years there. 2nd down and 9, a pickup of 1 yard, and that was all for Dawkins. And they go to the pass, and Sanjay Beach draws a crowd and picks up only 3 or 4 yards. Sanjay Beach, a player that's well known by our sideline man, Mike Sherrard.
Yeah, Sanjay Beach is the player that I played with for a number of years with the 49ers. He's a guy who works really hard in practice. I think he studied Jerry Rice, John Taylor, and myself a bit, and he's really caught on, and he's a good receiver, makes great catches.
He's made 1 or 2 this afternoon and looking to make a few more. Beach stays in this 4 wide receiver spread that's been so successful for them. Fuhrer did well to get rid of that because Rick Newbill came steaming through unblocked, and Fuhrer saw him and threw it away.
Newbill had the opening up the middle and put the big pressure on Fuhrer. No chance to get it to Sanjay Beach, who studied under Professor Sherrod at the School of Receiving.
So Darren Bennett will kick it to Kenny McIntyre.
And a big thing here, Peter Polly was doing the long snapping for Amsterdam. So John Bach, the normal center.
Timeout. London, that's their first timeout.
John Bach, the normal center, is going to do the snaps now. He was taking some at halftime, but this could be crucial because snaps have been a problem in the World League. It's something that takes a lot of practice. You have to work on your timing, you have to work on your technique, and the punter has to be used to the way the ball comes at him.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David, a touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Competition that you have in the game, and that's what attracted me to the game. You have to be physical, you have to have great athletic ability, and you have to know what you're doing. There's a mental aspect of the game that's so very important to you. But I think that this, more than anything else, has attracted me to football more so than other sports.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Do you know the way?
You're singing a little too loudly.
Singing too loudly?
Through the ups. Want to be a New York Yankee?
Let's do it.
And the downs. Through the hits and the misses.
Are you nuts?
There was always one cheering section they could count on.
2 words of advice for you. Fernando Valenzuela started out a pitcher, wound up a truck.
Each other. Albert Brooks, Brendan Fraser, the Scout. On DirecTV.
10-all here at White Hart Lane. We've talked about Mike Sherrard. Let's just remind ourselves of what he looks like when he's in action. Here he is making a catch for a touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys last year for the New York Giants. Talk us through it, Mike.
Well, that was a play. It was a short crossing pattern, and that's a play that actually London is trying to do, short passes. And if you can make a run after the catch. And fortunately, I had a linebacker on me, and most times linebackers should not be able to stay with me. I hope not, and I just take it in the end zone.
I want to know what you were doing going up the stairs there, but we'll talk about that later on, Mike.
The linebackers can't follow up the stairs.
So Kenny McIntyre comes off after the punt, and London will take over deep in their own territory once again. The ball spotted at around their own 17-yard line. Brooks and Al Wooten will line up in a two-man backfield for the Monarchs. Alan Allen and Larry Wallace in at wideout. Titley, the tight end. Johnson dropping back to pass, is flushed out of the pocket, gets Al Wooten, who almost had a catch, but Cedric Figueroa came and broke it up. Huge hit from the former Notre Dame linebacker.
And the ball was in his hands, and Figueroa just jarred it out. You can see pass coming because Moody's in his pass blocking set. And Johnson, he rolls over, he's got the man open. Ball's a little bit behind him, and he had to leave it exposed. Big hit, no completion.
Tough to blame Al Wooten for that. Cedric Figueroa, a hair-raising tackle there.
Blame his barber for that.
I'll let you do that. They've got Tony Brooks. They tried to set up a screen, but not much doing there for Tony Brooks, and not much doing offensively at all for the Monarchs. After an impressive-looking first quarter, this offense just cannot get to grips with this tough, uncompromising Amsterdam defense. Alan Allen checks out. 5 defensive backs now for Amsterdam in a passing situation.
They're going at it in a better way, though. They're starting to mix up the plays a bit, vary the offense, not get into such a predictable pattern.
It's Larry Wallace wide left, Ronnie West wide right, Mike Titley, the tight end, in the slot. Another big third down, and Johnson looks and looks and looks and overthrows Larry Wallace, who made a good effort for it. But that was a high pass.
And another big hit by Kelly Sims, because Wallace had it in his hands at full stretch, but Sims hit him right as he was stretching. This is the last receiver that Johnson looks at, and he delivers the ball pretty well, but it's a little high. Actually, Wallace didn't have it before Sims hit it, but he took the hard hit from Sims just the same.
So once again, we will see Sonny Fexico.
And Sonny's lost his rhythm now the last couple of punts. Let's see if he can get it back.
He's probably worn out. The rush is coming. Sonny gets it off, gets a good punt away to T.C. Wright, who fielded at the 18, beats one man, beats the 3. Big play from T.C. Wright. He's over halfway, he's over the 40. And he's tripped up, and Tony Brooks came over and made the coverage and saved the touchdown. But a huge play from T.C. Wright, and how often do you see it? If you can beat the first man on a punt return, it's problems.
And Jason Orton was the first man down there, and T.C. Wright just went through him or past him, and once he made that cut, there was nobody there. He's starting to run out of gas, it looks like. And Tony Brooks is chasing him, takes a good angle. You don't want to chase behind the guy. And Brooks manages to make the tackle, drive him out of bounds.
So T.C. Wright does his job. Sonny Fexico, ironically, got a good punt off there, but T.C. just turned the corner and almost went. And lucky for London that Tony Brooks was there, and Tony had enough speed to bring him down at the 16. Fura looking for a man. They got it inside the 10-yard line. David Jones, the H-back, had Carlton Lance all over him, but held on, and that's going to be close to first down yardage.
This is what makes David Jones so valuable, because he does have good speed in hands, but he's also 6'3" and about 215, 220. Hard man to bring down one-on-one.
Well, they haven't scored in the second half yet this season, the Amsterdam Admirals. They won't get too many better chances than this. Second down and a short 2, it looks like, for the Admirals. Fura calls a timeout with 3:11 left, third quarter.
Timeout. Amsterdam. That's their first timeout.
You have to have the talent. You've got to have the size, the speed, the talent to compete. The thing that you really can't measure is the heart. And then the other thing that you have to be made aware of as soon as you can is his ability to learn, to execute the detail of his assignment in a pressure situation.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
From DirecTV.
She walked into my house.
It started with a simple twist of fate.
Mama. Where are you off?
That led him to a life he'd never known.
I'll make you some oatmeal.
That taught him love.
This child belongs with me.
Gave him strength.
She's not yours, Michael.
And changed his world forever. Steve Martin. A simple twist of fate. Playing this month on DirecTV.
And Furr didn't like the look of the London defense and didn't have enough time to audible because of the 35-second play clock.
Yeah, the clock, not much of a factor in this game so far, but it certainly was there. And Will Furrer checks in with Jamie Martin, number 10 there. And offensive coordinator Bob Beers. There's Al Luganbill going back on the headset. So this is London's home opener against Amsterdam. Plenty of good action to come later on this season here at White Hart Lane next week. The Barcelona Dragons will be in town, and they're always popular and very welcome visitors, the Dragons, under their head coach Jack Bicknell. That gets underway 3 o'clock next Sunday. On the 15th of May, on the Monday, they entertain the Frankfurt Galaxy, and they round it out with the Rheinfire, and the big one on the 10th of June, the Claymores. Second down, they give it to Dawkins, who skips close to first down yardage. Gabriel Oladipo and Rick Newbill in on the stop, but Dawkins went up top and should be close to first down yardage.
We're taking a look, and it looks like the sticks are going to come out again. Now, the London players were gathered last night watching the Claymores get their first win in Frankfurt and cheering mightily for them. They would like nothing better than a confrontation with the Claymores with something tangible at stake on June 10th.
And here come the chains. It didn't go Amsterdam's way last time, but this time a different story. It's a first down at around the 6-yard line for the Amsterdam Admirals, who are still locked up 10 apiece with the London Monarchs. But the Monarchs defense has come up with a series of big plays. They need another one now, and David Jones has been quite a factor this second half for Amsterdam. First and goal. Furrer hands off to Dawkins. Dawkins cuts back against the grain and goes in standing up.
Nice bit of running by Ralph Dawkins. A good first cut. Everybody's penetrating in the line. Dawkins cuts against the grain and nobody can touch him.
So Ralph Dawkins collects his second touchdown of the game.
And watch the London defenders, how they all go low and they're penetrating. So when Dawkins gets the cut, he's got a good block. He's right through. Touchdown, Amsterdam.
Only Edward Buck had a shot at him, and Buck couldn't bring him down. Terry Belden will attempt the extra point. They took their time with it, but Belden got it through safely.
Little trouble on the hold.
So with 2:35 left in the third quarter, it's Amsterdam on top of the London Monarchs by a score of 17-10.
Pass. And then as the play unfolds, you follow it. If it's a running play, you go to the point of attack, knowing what we have to get done in order to make the play successful. If it's a pass play, as the quarterback goes back, then I immediately transfer my attention to the coverage down the field, because the coverage then dictates what the quarterback does with the football.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here is done.
Play ball.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
Word is, you're the best.
Sylvester Stallone.
You you think the killing is gonna make everything all right?
Sharon Stone.
Little danger never killed anybody.
I'm sorry. Should I have knocked?
James Woods, Eric Roberts.
Waste him.
And Rod Steiger.
I give the orders.
In the most explosive movie you'll see this year.
I'm breathless with anticipation.
The Specialist.
Playing on DirecTV.
So the Amsterdam Admirals break out on top for the second time in the game, and for the second time it's Ralph Dawkins that's put him there.
Dawkins is going to go just to the left. You see, he starts one step to the right, then cuts to the left of the center. The cut was all it took. He had a nice hole there into the end zone. Big afternoon for Dawkins, 109 yards so far, 2 touchdowns.
And on 25 carries, he's been a busy man. Game MVP, I suspect, unless things change dramatically in the remaining 17.5 minutes. But Dawkins really the only candidate so far. Belden will kick to Ronnie West, who fields at his own 4. And doesn't get much at all. Gets it past the 20, but not much more for Ronnie West.
No, hey, TC, I told you, motherfucker, we ain't punting anymore. Hey, TC, I can't take that kind of pressure.
So Brad Johnson has another challenge. He's not got much change out of this Amsterdam defense at all. They can't seem to run it. They can't seem to establish the passing game either.
No, they've gotten out of their rhythm. Nothing seems to be working for them. They came out last time and tried some good plays, some stuff they hadn't done before. Their players short right now. They're asking for one guy to come in, one receiver short, and it's going to be our first look at Robert Jackson.
Robert Jackson, number 88, checking into the lineup, acquired on waivers from the Barcelona Dragons, was with the Phoenix Cardinals in '93.
And the problem is that he doesn't quite know all of the offense yet, but he is a deep threat. Now they've got 2 wideouts who are both deep threats.
And they go straight to Jackson, who picks up a short one and gets out of bounds close to first down yardage. Kelly Sims may just have saved a first down there. But welcome to London for Robert Jackson, his first play, his first catch.
So the newcomers both making an impact on the first play they play. Simple move by Jackson, just 5 steps and stop. Now he's got a little bit of room, and Sims drives him out of bounds just short of the first down.
Good job from Kelly Sims, who played it tough there. It's a long time since London converted a first down. The second and very short here from around the 35. And they give it to Tony Brooks, who gets a good second effort and will get over the 35-yard line and should be good enough for a first down for Bobby Hammond's Monarchs.
Now it looks like they're going to go to the hurry up again. Remember, this worked for them really well in the first half. Get Amsterdam, don't let them set, don't let them change their defenders.
Single running back for the Monarchs. Johnson goes once again to Jackson, who picks up Kelly Sims once again and picks up around 4 or 5 yards before Sims shoves him out of bounds.
And if Amsterdam can't put the pass rush on, if they can't set that up before the play starts, then the defensive backs have to stay off about 1 step extra. They play really close if the pass rush is coming to try to get the quick pass and get the interception on the hit.
So a couple of quick pickups for Jackson. Second down, they put it on the ground this time. Tony Brooks can't get anything up the middle at all and will be nailed for possibly a loss. Malcolm Showell back in the game on the stop.
And Showell, who's a natural defensive end, trying to play defensive tackle. Now you see he's kind of tall and thin at 265 pounds, but a lot of strength there he showed on that because he actually got great penetration. That show on the right of your screen, 93.
Big third down coming up for the London Monarchs. Johnson puts it upstairs. He's got his man. It's Larry Wallace. Good for a first down. Good move from Larry Wallace inside.
And you see what Larry Wallace does is get right to the first down mark. He knows where it is, and he sets himself there. And when he catches the ball, he goes forward. No question that he wasn't going to get that first down.
Smart play from Larry Wallace on the 49ers practice squad last year. Looking to get back there. Came into the game with 6 receptions for 61 yards, but could have been so much more if he'd been fully fit. He's still not fully fit. Johnson fakes one way, goes the other, and just slightly overthrows Larry Wallace. And we've seen 3 or 4 go over the heads of London receivers this afternoon.
And to me, it looks like Larry's got his hands apart on those, and it's making him hard to catch those passes over his head.
So it's 17-10 to the Admirals.
I think the initial hit is still pretty much coached the same way, in that you have to approach him facing the numbers and then wrap him up, and then if he slides one way or the other, it becomes an arm tackle. But you're also taught to get in there and to try to strip the ball carrier of the football. And I think defensive coaches are stressing that more and more.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Some people were born to live the Western life.
All right, then, let's kill some people.
These people
I couldn't. I'm anti-handgun.
were born to leave it.
I say you're a bunch of sissies. Why don't you leave the West to the real man?
Oh, Butch, get over yourself.
So they blazed a new trail back east.
Wagons! East!
John Candy, Richard Lewis.
Are we there yet?
I will turn this wagon around right now.
Wagons East.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
White Hart Lane, the home of Tottenham Hotspur, and this afternoon the new home of the London Monarchs. And the wave going round the stadium here at White Hart Lane, but they haven't had an awful lot to cheer about since the end of the first quarter, when Amsterdam have really turned the screws on London offensively. And it's indeed the Monarchs now trying to generate some offense behind Brad Johnson, their quarterback, whose numbers have dropped off after a very bright start. Amsterdam have adjusted well to him. He's also had a few drops against him from his receivers. Second down and long, 5 defensive backs in. Johnson gets a man and doesn't get a lot. Mike Titley, the tight end, picked it up. Keith Franklin came in and closed him down. In fact, Cedric Figueroa, the man that closed him down.
Titley's forward progress will give them about 5 yards. They drove him back, but the Monarchs had good results when they went to the hurry up, and they're in it again now. The other receivers are helping Jackson with his routes.
Third and around 7 for the Monarchs. Looking to convert. Short drop, and then he rolls and feels the pressure, and Johnson gets rid of it, but they're short of first down yardage. Tony Brooks makes the catch, but is brought down a good 3 yards short of the first down. Once again, that hustling Amsterdam defense has come up big.
Looked like they were trying to set up a screen on that, but they couldn't get Brooks behind the screen. Johnson finally found him in the middle of the field, but he was in the middle of traffic. You see the pressure that Johnson would say. They were letting the runners in. It was set up to be a screen, but Brooks couldn't get behind the blockers. He was in front of them.
So Sonny Fexico will punt. TC Wright, terrible snap. TC Wright back deep. Last time he returned it to London 16. This time he calls fair catch at his own 13-yard line.
Sonny did a great job of fielding the bad snap and getting the kickoff under pressure, and it wasn't a bad kick. Good job by Sonny Fexico.
Yeah, he's calmed some nerves this afternoon, hasn't he?
Definitely, definitely.
Fourth quarter, the London Monarchs trailing by 7. It was Amsterdam that went on top early. London came back when Brad Johnson hit Larry Wallace, but Will Fuhrer since then has been the more productive of the 2 quarterbacks. And in Ralph Dawkins, the running back, Amsterdam have the player of the game so far. 100 yards plus and 2 touchdowns. 5 DBs in for London on first down. And tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Ralph Dawkins goes down. Gabriel Oladipo got some penetration there.
And Oladipo, as we said, has been doing a good job in the middle of that line. He's becoming a dominant player, not an experienced football player. He was an athlete, track and field athlete in Nigeria. He was recruited as a shot putter. Went to Texas Southern, where Lionel Taylor saw him in the weight room and said, "Why don't you play football?" Wound up at Washington State University, and he's a good one.
4 yards lost to Dawkins. Second down and long for Amsterdam. And they give to Dawkins once again, who goes up the middle and runs into Billy Lofton and Rick Newbill.
And we should say it was Billy Lofton on that last play, not Gabriel Oladipo, which doesn't change the fact that Gabe is playing a good game, but it was Billy Lofton who made that big play.
So Dawkins there will get close to the original line of scrimmage. What a game this fella has had. The man from the New Orleans Saints. Third down and 10. He's back to the original line of scrimmage. Horace Morris is in the game, the impact right defensive end for London. Fuhrer drops back to pass. They pick Morris up this time, and they pick up a first down as well. Sanjay Beach comes up with a big play, close to 18 yards for the old veteran.
And Sanjay Beach just running a quick in. Furr finds him, man-to-man coverage. Ball's right there. He's just ahead of Eric Stevens. Just making sure Hoffman, just making sure Beach is down.
So there goes Sanjay from Colorado State. Played with the 49ers, of course, and the Packers. First down, the handoff up the middle and getting some running room once again, spinning and turning close to first down yardage. You know who, Dawkins.
And Dawkins gets so low there that the linemen have trouble following him through the hole. You'd see that A.J. Jenkins was standing up, had an angle for good pursuit, but couldn't quite spot where Dawkins is. There's Jenkins standing up. Now watch Dawkins. Watch him go low there. See, he gets down low, then explodes up off his knees, then starts twisting. A hard guy to bring down. 5'10", just about 200 pounds. Solid, great acceleration, great balance.
And they're bringing the chains out to measure whether he got a first down at the first attempt. And he did. So Dawkins tacks on another 10 yards. Sanjay Beach has picked up 3 useful receptions in this game.
And London's D has been out there for a long time in this game as Amsterdam uses up lots of the clock, keeping the ball on the ground.
They don't do a lot, this Amsterdam offense, but what they do, they execute well. And this is a formation they like. 4 wide receivers and Dawkins alone in the backfield. It's worked well for them. Dawkins gets the draw play up the middle, doesn't get a lot. A couple, perhaps, Herman Smith in on the stop.
And London gets good penetration from their defensive line. The problem is with Dawkins is if he gets past the penetration, he's got a big gain, so you've got to stop him, and he's a hard guy to stop.
Dawkins close to 30 carries, if not more than 30 carries on this game so far. And this is the story of the game. A touchdown each in the first quarter, a field goal each in the second quarter, then Amsterdam broke out on top in the third quarter with that Dawkins 7-yard run. Lewis Capes in the game for London. Second down over the middle, just short of first down yardage there for David Jones.
And Jones starts off, he's in the slot on the left. They have Jones and McEwen. There's Jones on the left. Comes out from the slot, just moves right over the middle. Simple pattern. Waiting for the safety. When they see the linebacker is not going to pick up Jones, they know the safety's going to, so you can get him quick. A good read by Will Furr gets the ball to him before the safety comes up.
3rd and 1 for the Admirals, ahead by 7. They give to Dawkins, who spins for 1 yard and considerably more. He'll pick up 8 or 9 and another Amsterdam first down. And as you say, Mike, once he gets past that opening line of impact, as it were, he's in the backfield.
Watch 59, Dave Hoffman. The linebackers are coming. They're each taking a spot, and Dawkins gets past them. They hold up the guys at the line of scrimmage. They can't even see Dawkins. He just ducks down past them and around, and then it's him in the secondary.
Edward Buck on the stop once again. Kevin Porter in there as well. But Dawkins clocking up impressive NFL-style numbers here. Furr gets pressure from Newbill, throws it away. But Newbill did a good job there, forcing the pressure on Furr.
And London's getting that penetration, which is working against the passing game. They've just got to shut down that run.
But Will Furr has got extended playing time here for the first time this season. I think Al Luginbill, Amsterdam's head coach, will be quite happy with what he's seen from the man who's been with the Denver Broncos and hopes to go back to the Broncos.
Definitely. What this Amsterdam offense does is uses London's strength, which is the speed of their penetration against them.
Furr feels pressure again and is forced to throw it away once again. Lewis Capes, number 66, can take a lot of credit for that play.
And we said these guys have been out on the field a long time, but they're really sucking it up now and putting the pressure on Amsterdam. Lewis Capes comes hard, and he gets Furr off balance before he gets the throwaway. And in fact, if he'd gotten that throwaway, it was a dangerous one because Eric Stevens was coming up.
So 3rd down and 10. The Monarchs looking to hold here. Amsterdam ahead by 7 and looking for more. Big play coming up here. Theo Blanco checks into the lineup. Newbill stunting and got in, and it's a fumble, but it's very well recovered by Dawkins, who almost broke free, but Rick Newbill came on a stunt from left outside linebacker and just lowered the boom.
And Führer saw Newbill coming and just ducked into the rest of the rush. London's coming full speed. And right there, the ball's jarred loose. And as you said, Dawkins picked it up and nearly took off again.
He frightens you every time he gets his hand on the ball, Dawkins.
Newbill, you see him on the left of your screen coming in, and they've got Carlton Lance coming from the defensive backfield. They sandwich Führer.
Fourth down, Kenny McIntyre back deep. High snap. And not one of the better punts, although it's going to... In fact, it takes a London hop. He wasn't looking for too much there.
A little bit too much backspin by Bennett, but he dropped the ball very low so that he could get that because he didn't want to kick it through the end zone. And again, does a good job of putting it inside the 15.
Another big play from the London Monarchs defense, but it's the Admirals on top, 70-10, 8:46 remaining.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 World League season. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
The moon is rising. The passion is growing. The animal is out. Nicholson. Pfeiffer. Don't look so scared.
Wolf, playing on DirecTV.
Defensively, a big game once again for the London Monarchs, but it's on offense that they've struggled this afternoon against this tough and uncompromising Amsterdam defense. And with 8:46 remaining, time running out for the Monarchs to generate some offense.
88 yards to go, 8 minutes left. This is where you really would like to establish yourselves for a drive.
This is where Brad Johnson will establish himself as the leader of this offense. The man on allocation from the Minnesota Vikings, Phil Bryant in the lineup. Johnson looks, fakes, and gets hit. And that's a live ball. And who's come up with it? Vital for London that they hang on to this. But Johnson had the ball jarred out of him. And it looks like London have hung on. Phil Bryant comes up with a big play from Bryant. But another big play defensively for Amsterdam.
And Johnson, he pump faked again. He thought he had more time. He's looking for a receiver. Doesn't see the rush coming. Gets nailed. Bobby Hamilton on the rush. Got around Mike Moody, two teammates from the Seattle Seahawks.
So that pushes him back. He's got a man open. Mike Titley will pick up a first down and stays on his feet. Great second effort to Titley to the 35.
A nice play by Mike Titley. Good play by Brad Johnson, standing there on the goal line, not letting the rush bother him, looking for Titley all the way and hitting him with a good pass. Titley, your tight end on the right of your screen. Johnson's watching him all the way. Titley does a nice pattern behind the linebacker in front of the safety. It's going to take a couple of guys to bring him down.
Well, tough as these Admirals defensive backs are, they're not going to go one-on-one with Mike Titley. Big first down for the Monarchs, but they need more than that. Johnson goes over the middle of Phil Bryant, who does well to hang on there. He got flattened by Carmelia McGill.
Phil Bryant's doing well to hang on to his head in that one. McGill got a real good hit on him, but that's what you want. Concentration on the ball. Good hands by Phil Bryant. McGill's the middle linebacker. You see him dropping out of your picture there. Johnson's looking, then he sees the safety valve and whack, head to head.
This Amsterdam defense comes at you hard every single down. Close to first down yardage. Titley gets away from his man and does pick up first yardage, and he's up to midfield. The big man, the tight end, their key man in this offense, is coming up big time for them when they need it.
Mike Titley does a good job of keeping the bounce. Here you see now, see how he releases off the line, sees the first down mark. You saw him look at it. He knows he's close, keeps his balance, shifts the ball, which is nice because he protects it, and gets forward. Good catch, good run, good head, Mike Titley.
The big tight end. First down, London at midfield. The clock continuing to run. Johnson finds Allen, who could have had a piece of that. And surely a late hit there from Aldridge, but not called. Melvin Aldridge came in and just spun Allen round.
And again, the ball was there. Johnson's getting it in high, and he throws a hard ball. It may be creating some problems for the receivers.
I'll tell you something we haven't talked about, Mike. There's quite a slope on this field here at White Hart Lane. You wonder if the receivers are actually probably about 6 inches lower than where the quarterback is.
It's a good point, and that could be a big factor, although most of the fields in the States that they play on are sloped too, especially the AstroTurf ones.
Second down and 10, and a flag comes in.
11.
Let's wait for the call. See who's going to be assessed here. Looks like it may be a delay of game, but we'll have to wait for the official verdict.
False start prior to the snap, number 73, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Mike Moody, the right tackle, the allocated player from the Seattle Seahawks, assessed for the 5-yard penalty there.
Maybe thinking about Bobby Hamilton, who's coming in. They're having a real battle there, right tackle, left end, both from the Seattle Seahawks.
So second and 10 was a tough call. Second and 15, that little bit tougher. Ronnie West out wide right. Allen to the left. And he was looking for Larry Wallace, the third receiver in that package.
A little bit ahead of Larry Wallace, but here you see him on the isolation. Just a short pass. They don't want to get it all back, or they don't need to get it all back at once, but you can see Larry Wallace just can't make the sharp cut and re-accelerate because of that hamstring problem. He's taking an easy cut.
Another big play offensively for the London Monarchs. Third down and 15. Johnson gets pressure, goes upstairs, and that should have been a pickoff. And they know it. The Amsterdam Admirals know it. Brad Johnson certainly knows it, and Ron Carpenter, who had 3 in the season opener against Barcelona, should have had another one.
And Johnson goes back, and West is actually open behind Titley, but he's looking for Titley, and he tries to ease up on the pass. He gets hit a little late there too and gets sent down.
4 of 14 on third down conversions.
See, he's trying to finesse it to Titley, and that's not Brad Johnson's game. He's got to get it in there.
Fexico gets off the punt, TC right. Fields at the 20. And gets leveled by Victor Ebubedike. Big special teams play from Victor, who's not going to look back on this game with a great deal of satisfaction. He fumbled on the opening play offensively for the Monarchs and hasn't seen much playing time since. Came up big time there.
It's a big hit by Victor X. Helmet to helmet, bam. That's what you do. You may make mistakes in the game, but you just forget about them and you come back at full speed.
And TC went back about 5 yards there after the hit from Victor.
TC stands for that crunched.
Lewis Capes staying in the game. He's getting plenty of playing time for the Monarchs as well. The defense has to do it again. The handoff up the middle. Ralph Dawkins gets the carry. He's picked up by Dave Hoffman. Mike Titley there, hoping that he's going to get another opportunity to get his hands on the ball.
And they pulled the guard as if they were going to the outside to the right. Dawkins went up the middle, but Dave Hoffman was keying on Dawkins and stayed at home to make that stop.
Dawkins now up to 130 yards. This very impressive. And for a league that said this is going to be a passing league, Ralph Dawkins is making them rethink it. Dawkins gets the carry, fumbles the ball, loose ball, but looks like it's been recovered immediately. In fact, the officials are saying otherwise. Well, it looked like Amsterdam had recovered it. An official pointed that London had the ball, but I'm pretty sure that's going to come back to Amsterdam. They fell on that one almost immediately.
See,
let's take another look.
Quick pitch to Dawkins. See how the 2 linemen are out in front of him? Newbill's saying, oh my God, what do I do now? Hoffman comes over quickly, but you see no question about who picked up the recovery.
It was Brett Quarter, the guard. Third down, Amsterdam get lucky once again, cutting back against the grain, but short of first down yardage and stopped by Dave Hoffman and Kevin Porter.
It's the veterans who are picking up the slack here right now. Kevin Porter coming up quickly, and Dave Hoffman really is playing inspired in the middle linebacker spot.
The conversation is because there is a flag in the Amsterdam backfield, and cries of holding have been coming up from the players.
Personal foul, number 97 of the defense, roughing the quarterback, 15 yards from the end of the run, and a first down.
That's Horace Morris.
Now there's Morris from behind, gives him a little shot, and can't really argue with that.
And that hurts. They had him stopped.
It's one thing when you're tackling him, he's just got in the pass, you're coming in head on. You come from behind, you just give him that little shot. The referee's always going to throw the flag.
Furrer has been productive this afternoon for the Amsterdam Admirals. Sanjay Beach wide to the left. Jones wide right. Dawkins gets it up the middle and picks up another 3 yards maybe. Dave Hoffman and Rick Newbill in on the stop.
Newbill made a nice tackle cutting down, and Hoffman did a good job of fighting off the blocker, so he was there to help. Sometimes a tough penalty like that can take the wind out of your sails, but what you need is what they've got is a good stop on that first play.
That personal foul from Horace Morris could prove to be huge. We're under 4 minutes. Dawkins has the ball, spins away from the first tackler and gets close to first down yardage once again. Billy Lofton, number 96, eventually made the stop, but Dawkins close to yet another Amsterdam first down.
He's got those long life batteries in there. He's just going to keep running and running and running.
Lewis Capes still in the game for the Monarchs. Horace Morris still in there as well. Number 97, he'll be looking to atone for the earlier mistake. The give is to Dawkins, who gets close to first down yardage depending on where they spot it. He only needed a couple and he'll be close.
He was looking for a hole and a way to go over the top. Again, the London linebackers coming up quick. Tried to go over, and he may have just made it.
Although from where they've spotted the ball, it may be short. They needed to get just past the 45-yard line of the Monarchs, and indeed it brings up a fourth down, and not very much at all. And the officials stop the clock with 2:47 remaining, and Bobby Hammond can only stand and watch now. This has been a tough afternoon for his defense, who've played outstandingly. In fact, they're going to measure it to see whether indeed it is a first down. It's close. It's certainly close, but short.
We've seen quite a few of these today, and this will be an interesting call for Luganville, because you've got under 3 minutes to go. Do you try to bottle London up in their own end, or do you go for it? And he's going to go for it.
Craig McEwen, number 45, checks into the lineup. The last time they went for it on fourth down, Will Fuhrer was stopped on a quarterback keeper.
Bob Beers calling the play in on the walkie-talkie to the receiver in Will Fuhrer's helmet, and this is the play of the game.
If London stop them here, they have a chance. The give is to Dawkins, who gets first down yardage and more. Newbill and Buck came up, but Dawkins had done the damage. 2:31 left.
Dawkins just took the slide and saw where he was going, and look at the difference in rushing in this game. London came out and wanted to reestablish their running game like they did last week. It looked like they'd done it at the start of the game, but they didn't continue. Amsterdam 163 yards on the ground.
London, that's their second timeout.
Is Ralph Dawkins.
And the Monarchs forced to take a timeout to stop the clock with 2:20 left. But they need a huge play for their defense that's come up big for them time and again this afternoon, but they've never been able to stop Dawkins, who is now around 150 yards on something like 37 carries. That's unofficial, but either way, whatever happens, it's huge from Dawkins.
Maurice Stevens and Bobby Hammond talking things over with Dave Hoffman, but it's Dawkins who's had the big day, and we said if he went over 100 yards, it would be a good sign for Amsterdam. Well, if you go over 150 yards with one back like that, you got a good shot at winning a ball game.
I tell you, when Dave Hoffman shuts his eyes and goes to sleep this evening, he is going to see number 22 coming at him time and time again. Al Luganbill has just set his running back loose, and Dawkins has answered the call.
You gain that many yards rushing, it means you've got the ball for most of the game in your possession. When it's in your possession, only good things can happen.
First down, 2:20 remaining in the ball game. Amsterdam ahead by 7. They pitch it back to Dawkins, who spins past Edward Buck and picks up another 5 or 6.
And the clock just keeps ticking away. The other advantage of running the ground game now. Ralph Dawkins is having a day, and he knows it.
That'll be it. It'll be the 2-minute warning. With the score, the Amsterdam Admirals 17, the London Monarchs 10. Just 2 minutes remaining in the ball game.
When you get into this profession, this coaching profession, you dream of someday being able to lead your team out to play a Super Bowl. Now all of a sudden it's there. You have that opportunity. It's really a feeling that you can't describe. It's just such a feeling of contentment.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
The epic story of love and adventure. Wyatt Earp. He was a lawman. He was a hero. He fought with all his strength to protect the things he loved.
We'll make our own place where no one will find us.
Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, Wyatt Earp, playing on DirecTV.
2 minutes remaining in the ball game. A second down coming up from Amsterdam, and the big play on this drive, the 15-yard penalty against Horace Morris. London have been assessed for 8 penalties for 70 yards, which is something Bobby Hammond will have to address in practice this week.
And during the timeout, Dawkins, who's carried the ball 37 times, was bopping to the music. He's not tired at all.
Maybe he starts slowing down after he's had 50 carries. But as you say, Mike, he looks as fresh as when he started at the moment. 37 carries and 150 yards later. And he wants more.
When you've got that one-back offense, it's not only you have to have a guy who can carry the ball, you have to have a guy who wants to carry the ball.
And this fella does, Ralph Dawkins. And London can only stop the clock once more after this. 2 minutes left. Amsterdam ahead by 7 and with the ball. And closing in on a 3-0 record. It's another first down for the unstoppable Ralph Dawkins. Kevin Porter strips the ball away, but far too late. Dave Hoffman inevitably on the stop. So if indeed Al Luganbill's team does go 3-0, that would suggest that they could be World Bowl bound. I think another timeout, their last, has been called by London.
Timeout. London, that's their last timeout.
Historically in the World League, Mike, when teams go 3-0 to start the season, good things happen. They tend to go to the World Bowl.
And in this season, if they go 3-0, they tend to host the World Bowl, because the team that has the best record after the first 5 games will be the host. Although at 3-0, they'll only be 1 game ahead of the teams that are 2-1. So it's not over yet.
There's still some work to do, but Al Luganbill's team looks to have all the basic ingredients down. He's not happy with something there. Well, some kind of dispute there with the officials from Al Luganbill. But London cannot stop the clock anymore. And it's the Amsterdam Admirals in complete control, ahead by 7 with 1:45 remaining and with the ball at London's 32-yard line. Only a turnover will do for London now. Dawkins gets it and is nailed immediately by Gabriel Oladipo, but not much celebrating on the London sideline there with that hit.
No, they need more than one of those at this stage, and they don't have much time left to get it. Look at those stats: 40 rushes, 164 yards, 4.1 per carry, if my math is accurate.
And if you achieve that over 40 yards, that really is saying something. And none of them have been huge. He's just consistently grounded out against the London Monarchs.
It's the best way to do it. And this Amsterdam team, all credit to Al Luganbill, they finally get ahead in the game, and then they put the screws on you.
Oh, he plays it tough, no mistake. Fura goes down to one knee. London cannot stop the clock. We're down to a minute and counting. Tough to see any way the Monarchs can turn this around now. Al Luganbill has clearly said to his quarterback, what we have, we hold. We'll take this.
Just save the game.
And one or two fans starting to drift away. I think they realize what's happened. So Al Luganbill and his Amsterdam Admirals will move to 3-0 and sole possession of first place in the World League. London Monarchs, who came back so well to beat the Rheinfire last week, just couldn't cope with Ralph Dawkins and that mean Amsterdam defense.
They should run out.
And they really had trouble establishing their own offense in the second half, and that was the key to the game. Dawkins the key offensively for Amsterdam.
So disappointment for the faithful at White Hart Lane. Amsterdam have sailed in and conquered. It's finished. The Amsterdam Admirals 17, the London Monarchs 10. Dawkins really the story of the game. 2 touchdowns, 40 carries, 160 something yards. He was the story. He opened the scoring. He closed the scoring.
And the Monarchs, when they ran with the hurry up, they had their offense moving. So at 2 different times during the game, but in between, they really had trouble establishing any kind of momentum. Their offensive line, which looked like it would be dominant again at the beginning of the game, like it was last week, just wasn't for the rest of the game.
And that's the good news for Amsterdam, who've already beaten Barcelona as well, their nearest rivals. Everybody else on 1 and 2. London host Barcelona next week. Amsterdam 3-0, they're out on their own. Mike, if you had to pick a game MVP from this one, who would you pick?
Oh, gee, that's a tough one. I guess you've got to say Ralph Dawkins, I guess.
Well, anybody who gets 164 yards is pretty sure bet for MVP honors. Ralph Dawkins, the story of this game. Dawkins, with 2 touchdowns and 160 yards, has led the Amsterdam Admirals to a 17-10 victory over the London Monarchs.